What's up, everybody? Alisson Becker is in England. I'm not sure exactly where, but he's in England as we speak, on his way to become a Liverpool player for a fee believed to be around 66, 67 million pound. Apologies about the slight delay, but as you can see from the snazzy image that Connor made here, this show tonight is not called Between the Lines. No, Connor, it's called Between the Motherfucking Sticks.
Yeah, it was the Raptor, wasn't it? I suggested it. It's a brilliant name, to be fair.
Absolutely. Fair play to the Raptor. He contacted us and he said, you know what, guys, you should change the name of tonight's show to Between the Sticks as a kind of homage to the fact that Alisson is joining Liverpool Football Club. You know what, it's been some day, Connor, hasn't it? I mean, if you think back 2-3 nights ago, we're sitting here, I'm nearly bouncing off the walls worrying about a goalkeeper. We're praying that maybe the Fekir deal comes back, and then boom, here we are a few days later. Sky telling us there's no hope, no interest in Alisson Becker from Liverpool. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, James Pearce comes like a god and lets us know everything's going to be okay.
I think it was the other way around, actually. James Pearson all said it, and then Sky claimed there was nothing. Because they're all a bunch of wankers trying to make money off betting.
Well, we all want to make a few quid off betting, really, to be fair. I mean, different ways about it, but look, it's absolutely amazing, isn't it?
It is, and it's such a shock, really, because it looked like, with all the reports, as if we're going to stick with Karius and possibly Ward even, and then suddenly, just out of nowhere, we're making £67 million bids for Alisson. Just class.
It really is brilliant. I see in the chat here, Steve says straight away, I told you lads last night that this was happening. I told you that Alisson was flying in. You did indeed. Good evening to Eugene. Good evening to the Junior. Good evening to Dell, Charlie, V8, Tom, the White Warrior, Jimmy, Joseph, Ferno, Connor. The chat is packed already. There's lots and lots of people really excited at the fact that Liverpool have gone and broken the world record. Not just broken it, they've smashed the world record for a goalkeeper.
Is it basically double the last one, isn't it?
I thought that Manchester City paid £40 million, but when I checked back and looked at Sky, they said that they paid £34.8 million.
Yeah, so we basically doubled it. That's just some signal of intent, isn't it?
It's absolute quality.
We're just sorting out that goalkeeper spot for the next possibly 9 or 10 years. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see him in red. Well, you all wear red, but you know.
For some reason, Ferno in the chat here seems to think I'm his father or something. He says, if you were 35 and you was my dad, you would have been 19 when you gave birth to me. Okay, I probably wouldn't have given birth. There probably would have been a woman involved somewhere in that scenario, Ferno, buddy. But it's hard to know where to start with this one, Connor, isn't it? I mean, 5-year deal by the looks of it, which is brilliant in itself. And it's very rare that we actually hear the length of contracts that players sign when they come to Liverpool, because they do like to just put out the line that it's a long-term deal.
I think everyone just guesses 5 years, to be honest. This makes sense, really. Like, you're obviously going to try to tie him down for as long as you can when you spend that much money.
I can't tell you guys how happy I am. I mean, I was knackered all day today, really, really tired. But then I was looking forward to coming on here, getting to chat with you guys, getting to talk about what's made me, I can't, deliriously happy, Connor. I mean, there's nothing else could have happened this summer in regards to Liverpool Football Club that would have made me any happier. I've been saying to you for months and months and months now that I wanted Alisson Becker. If you go back and listen to the podcast from 6-7 months ago, I was saying this is the goalkeeper that we need.
Yeah, to be fair, you have been calling for a long time. And I say you would have been happy with any goalkeeper at this point, told you. You just really didn't want to see Karius and Mignolet, and I got to say I backed up Karius up until that fucking Chester game, and they just lost all hope after that. I think he'd be alright as a second choice, but no, we can't have him as first choice.
Yeah, I think we probably will see him staying, to be fair. Phil Lindsay says, panic over, people, I'm here. Phil is our transfer guru. Well, we say transfer guru, Connor, but we all know who the real transfer guru is.
Manuel Labor, yeah.
Manuel Labor is an absolute legend. I suppose we should really get through some of the...
Well.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, that Brent Castles guy as well. He's fairly reliable, I think.
He isn't too bad, to be fair. And Lorenzo isn't the worst either.
He's only a spoofer, I'd say.
Right, let's get through some of the comments here, because a lot of happy people. Ferno said, did you see Alisson in the airport? I did. Did you see those images, Connor?
Yeah, they were faking them. They were from like 2 years ago.
No, there was pictures on Sky of him going through Campino or whatever the fucking airport is called in Rome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I seen the other ones and they were fake.
The one with Daz in the background.
Yeah, that was fake. That was from like 2 or 3 years ago.
It was Daz or Fakir. We can't quite make up our mind who was in the background there, pretending to be a janitor or something.
I'd say it was Daz. Snooping around.
Lots and lots of very happy people in here. Like, look, guys, it's £67 million. So we said earlier on, it's a world record fee for a goalkeeper. Smashes the current world record. What do you guys think? Are you worried about the fee? Are you worried about the weight that this puts on Alisson's shoulders when he comes into the club? Is there any negatives in this transfer for you? I'd love to know so I can tell you all how wrong you are and how brilliant he's going to be, because there can be absolutely no negatives here, guys. This is a happy day. I didn't mean that to sound like your opinions aren't valid, by the way. Sorry, that's not what this was supposed to sound like. What I'm saying is it's happy fucking days, guys. I'm over the moon. Connor, it's I can't stress how happy I am about this one. This is the big one for me. All summer's been leading up to this. This is a situation that we've been in trouble with for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, it's just been like we haven't had a top goalkeeper in so long, and if Alisson can come in and actually be that good, then like we're just sorted for the next like 10 years. Like even after Klopp goes, the next manager coming in won't have to worry about a keeper, which is fantastic. Like
somebody on Periscope saying fee means nothing, just look at Virgil van Dijk. And yeah, to be fair, Connor, I've forgotten all about Virgil van Dijk's fee. Obviously we know what it is, but when you look at him now, you don't see the fee, you just see an absolute quality centre back.
That's it, like, and he's there making saves now, keeping us in games, winning his points. Like, no one's going to care about the fee. It's all about just the performance on the pitch. Like, if he improves the team, which he massively will, then fuck the transfer fee. Sorry.
I was looking through, you know the way Sky do their thing, guys, where they let you know players in and players out from each club. So I was looking through the Liverpool one, and I had like players in, and it was adding up to £110 million or something. This was before the Alisson deal, and then they switched over, and Everton came up, and players in, and it just said none. And I just thought, well, that sums it all up, doesn't it? Because they've been linked to everyone. See, they were linked to Richarlison today. I think it's pretty much anyone that Silva's ever managed.
Yeah, it seems that way. There's like every single player he's ever spoken to have been linked to him, and for all this bullshit rumours.
Ferno said that Daz looks like Lallana, Fekir and Messi had a baby.
It's a good show, to be fair.
I hope that means he's beautiful, because Daz is a beautiful human being. We do love Daz.
Yeah, I don't swing that way, but like if I was going to, he's the kind of guy you would go for, isn't he?
Thomas Boland, by the way. Thomas Boland, you absolute legend. Straight in. Every night he looks after us, Connor. He's telling people to hit that like button, give them thumbs up already.
Yeah, how many are we on now?
It must be 300 or 400. I mean, we've been on now 7 minutes, so I imagine we're up to 300 or 400 at this point. But look, last night again, guys, broke all our records. Look, we know this is just silliness and all, but we broke all our records, absolutely all of them. We had over 200 thumbs up, Connor. 6 thumbs down, which again I think that's a record as well.
We're on 36 up, 1 down. 1
down already. Raptor, I'm starting to think it is you, mate. You were joking with me earlier on saying that you could be the thumbs down guy. I'm starting to think it is you.
It's definitely someone, 1 regulars.
It is, yeah. I don't mind 1. 1 is a joke. 1 is a ha-ha. But
whoever it is just mocking us now at this point.
Mike Marriott wants to know, will Alisson travel to the US on that part of the pre-season tour? I honestly haven't heard yet, because the club haven't said anything about this deal, obviously. So I'd imagine he wouldn't be far off.
Join up in France, was it?
Say again?
I think I've seen somewhere that if we do sign Alisson, then he'll be linking up with the squad in France when Firmino gets back too.
Yeah, I was wondering how long they're going to get off for the World Cup, because they got to the quarterfinals, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they're going to miss the American leg of the tour now.
Well, at least our players can get into America.
Well, that's a fair point, yeah. Sanchez tax fraud.
Allegedly.
Alleged.
Oh no, he was done for it, wasn't he? To be fair, if he's been done for it, then he was done for it.
I think pretty much everyone who's played in Spain has been done for tax fraud.
Maverick says, one issue is that the goalkeeping coach needs to go before he arrives, please. And look, it will be interesting to see what happens with John Achterberg. And by that, I don't mean that he's shit or anything, which, a lot of people seem to think he is, me included, by the way, but I'm not trying to say that here. What I'm saying is sometimes, Connor, if a new goalkeeper comes in, they do like to bring a coach with them occasionally.
Yeah, someone can do, I think, yeah. Look, we've talked about Achterberg a lot. Like, I think the general consensus is that he's fairly fucking shite at his job. then again, like all the managers have said he's good, so we don't really know. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring someone in with him.
The White Warrior says, no negativity, Craig. It's Alisson Thursday. Buddy, it's fucking Wednesday. I hope it's Wednesday. Connor, is it Wednesday?
It is Wednesday, yeah.
It's Alisson Wednesday at the moment. But it'll be Alisson Thursday, I suppose, when he gets the medical done. But yeah, there's no negativity on this stream, guys. This is just happy times tonight. I'm absolutely over the moon. Sarah says, Damo, do you believe me now when I said that Alisson and Fekir will be done? And what else have we got? Congrats, Connor, on passing your driving test, by the way. Yeah. Damo says, congratulations, Connor. So you're a fully fledged tractor driver now.
Tractor driver, yeah, that's it.
Where did you leave the collie when you were doing the test?
No, I brought him with me. They run around the back.
Good stuff. No, in all honesty, though, congratulations, buddy. It's great to get that one off your back, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just relief more than anything.
Are you looking forward to driving the Anfield Agenda Lambo?
Oh yeah, a big AA across the side.
Imagine ringing up AXA today and saying, "Yeah, I just passed my driving test. I was looking to get a quote on some insurance, please." What are you looking to get a quote on? Oh, Lamborghini Gallardo. And can I
fuck off car? Yeah.
Can I pay monthly as well, please? Munaeen reckons that 18-19 is going to be Liverpool's year, and you know what, Munaeen, mate, I am right behind you, because Connor, this is it for me. This is the piece of the jigsaw that allows Liverpool to go and challenge for the Premier League this year, and I mean really challenge. Like, I said this last night as well. How sweet is it, Connor, knowing that Liverpool are going to have Brazil's #1 goalkeeper, and Manchester City are going to have the lowly second goalkeeper, the backup goalkeeper to Alisson.
Yeah, it's going to be a big psychological edge, won't it? Like #1 keeper compared to that, and the fact that Van Dijk turned them down to come to us as well, like, it does give us that edge, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant. Do you know what? It really is brilliant. And as you said, Virgil van Dijk turned down a move to Manchester City, where no doubt he would have got more wages. He would have been guaranteed a Premier League title last season. But the project that Klopp was building here at this club, and you know, with Virgil van Dijk, Connor, I truly believe it was down to the fan base as well, to a degree, because he's been open about saying how amazing the atmospheres have been when he played at Anfield.
Yeah, he's mentioned a few times. I'm sure all the former Southampton lads were in his ear as well, telling him about how great the club is. So past dealings probably helped a bit in it. And like you said, I'd say Klopp was 90% of the reason why he came. He's seen what we were building here, and he wants to be part of it.
I think it's only right as well, Connor, that we take a moment out here to say not just thank you, but congratulations to the owners, the transfer team, Klopp, and the scouting department, everybody involved in what they've done over the past 18 months, because the calibre of footballer that we're now attracting and bringing to Liverpool Football Club is something that we haven't seen in a very long time.
It's true, yeah, and Michael Edwards has to be given a big shout out for, like, seems to be doing great work just getting the players in. And we've got a lot more shrewd with our business, like, even this whole silence over Fekir, like a few years ago, even a few months ago, we were fucking putting out statements saying we weren't in for Van Dijk. It was embarrassing the club, but then we obviously got him in the end. But it's just different nowadays, isn't it? We're just more clever in the market.
I love the way Joseph Reardon's thinking. He says, look at it this way, guys. The fee is €100 million for Becker and Mo Salah, so it's good to look at it that way. And you know what? Looking at it that way, it still seems like a bargain to me.
Yeah, I've seen someone said flip around the prices. If we got Salah for 67 and then Becker for 33, like, that'd be a great deal.
Do you know what? We often speak about the Anfield Wrap and how great they are and stuff like that. But last night when I finished the stream, I went downstairs and I listened to the Anfield Wrap special that they had on Alisson Becker. And they had James Horncastle on, who's the Italian for soccer journalist. I say soccer, football journalist for BT, or I think a few other sites as well. But they were talking about Becker, and he had nothing negative to say. He literally could not make one negative point about him. He said it's an absolutely tremendous piece of business. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. Some of his distribution is breathtaking. And then I seen some stats as well. I mean, I think he had the highest save percentage in Europe after Jan Oblak or something like that. You know this whole new thing now about XPR or something, or expected saves.
Expected goals,
yeah, he beat the expected goals by, I think it was, it was something like 3.5 saves a game or something like that.
Jesus. Yeah, even I think I sent into the WhatsApp group earlier the comparison with the top Premier League goalkeepers, and like he's well up there with the likes of De Gea and Ederson. Like he's beating them in a lot of stats.
Guys, do not base your opinions of Alisson Becker off the World Cup. Trust me on this one. I said to you guys time and time again, and look, you know me, I don't come on here claiming knowledge of any players. I don't come on here claiming to be an expert. It's not me. But in this situation, I can promise you, I've watched Alisson Becker many, many times. He is a very good goalkeeper. He really is. And although he's only the same height as De Gea, Connor, he's a bigger frame, so he looks like a bigger unit in the goal.
Yeah, he's a big guy, isn't he? He's 6'3", which is by no means short. Like I don't know what fucking Mark Aldridge was saying he was too small.
Yeah, that just shows you everything. He was either just fishing there or he's just an absolute gobshite, one or the other.
100% just looking for attention.
He does like a bit of attention, to be fair. Sorry, I'm just replying to Tom here, guys, because Tom is going to come on the stream a little bit later on as well, because Tom's over the moon. He's just finishing up work and he's going to join us a little bit later on. So I'm just replying to him, bear with me. Connor, a bit of breaking news as well about Simon Mignolet, apparently, from Mundo Sporto.
Oh yeah, English correspondent, what was his name again? Brent Castles.
Brent Castles, yeah, Mundo Sporto's English correspondent.
Exclusive from Mundo Sporto that Mignolet is going to Inter Milan for 18 million apparently. So go and spread that shite there, whatever you want to.
Yeah, and I believe that was picked up already by a few fans, Connor, and somebody went on and asked William Hill for the odds.
Yeah, there's already people requesting odds for it. We got 3-1.
It's do you know what? It just shows. Was it you who sent into the group earlier on about the guy who made the FIFA team of the World Cup?
Yeah, I sent it to you that F Edits on Twitter made the fake FIFA World Cup team of the tournament, and like literally everyone believed it. It was all over the major news outlets and everything. Like no one bothers to check things nowadays.
I mean, he listed off some of the sites that had that included. I've seen Redmen TV there. I think I've seen the Daily Mirror, maybe the Daily Star. I'm sure I've seen Sky Sports News there as well.
Bleacher Report as well.
Bleacher Report. I mean, some of the biggest publications and biggest sites in football. And it kind of just goes to prove that nobody does fact check anymore. It's ridiculous.
That's why Mundo Sporto is taking over the world, because people are idiots who don't look at these things.
That's the whole point of what we started with the Mundo Sporto thing, guys. That's the whole joke behind it, is that we literally think that we can put any old shite out there just for a laugh and that people are going to believe it. And that was proved yesterday, Connor, when the Genuine Album to Leon story was doing the rounds and it was reposted and we were tagged by a French football page that had 1.6 million followers.
Yeah, I can't believe that. I just started this rumour about Wijnaldum going to Leon, and the whole of Leon Twitter just lapped it up and they all thought it was real.
Edits and everything.
Edits and everything, yeah.
And not shitty edits. I mean, really, really good edits.
No, it was really good. Just cracking edits, to be fair. Yeah, then just that like 1.6 million follower account tweeting it out. It was 2 Dutch websites. Just loads of people talking about it.
123 Anfield says, "Hi lads, great to see quality players signing for Anfield. Alisson is the missing piece for me," and I'm right with that. I mean, look, nobody's going to say we don't want Fekir to join as well, because I still feel we're a little bit short, Connor, in that attacking mid, cover for the front three situation. But I said it time and time again, if I only had to sign one position this summer, it would be the goalkeeper for me. And not just the fact that we're getting that position sorted, but we're getting my number one target for that position makes me a very, very happy egg.
That's sunny side up, yeah.
I'm a hard-boiled egg, obviously. Look at this noggin here. That's therefore a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah, I think goalkeeper is obviously going to be the main thing this summer, and now obviously with Chamberlain's out now, so we're going to need to bring in a number 10.
Oh, we can't talk about that yet. I'm not ready to go on a downer just yet.
Not just yet.
No, we'll bring him up a little bit later on, because obviously our thoughts are with him, but we can't do it yet. We can't go negative. The Raptor says everyone is saying he's brilliant, Craig. Even the Manchester United fannies and the Arse followers are saying that he's absolutely brilliant. Do you know what? I haven't dipped into other fans' Twitter and stuff because it's not really something I do, but I'd love to know how people are perceiving the business that Liverpool are doing. So if any of you guys in there have jumped into Everton's, United's, Arsenal's Twitter or anything, or Facebook, Let me know what the reaction is to what Liverpool are doing. Let me know. Let me know, are they shitting themselves? Or are they saying we're trying to buy the league? I really, really would love to know what people's perception is.
They're all saying we're buying the league, which is ridiculous. It's like we've actually made profit since Klopp came in.
Do you know, Conor, I fucking love to buy the league. I'd love to buy the league because we're not buying the league with, sugar daddy owners.
Yeah, we're buying it through selling players and buying quality players for cheaper and making them even more quality. Like, we're doing it the right way, really.
Exactly. And when FSG came in and they said before that they had to be clever in the way they did things, and I think one of their taglines or one of their promises always was to under-promise and over-deliver, I think was one of the phrases that they used.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. Yes.
And Tom Werner did say as well, I think this was back in the days of Brendan Rodgers, I think, and people laughed at, but he said that, like, we will have the money to compete with anybody for any players, and that is bearing truth right now. I mean, obviously we're not going out there, we're not signing, Neymar spending €250 million, but that's just ridiculous. But when it comes to competing with the best in the Premier League for the best players out there, we're competing and we're beating them at times. I mean, this is possibly the second big club we're after beating in a row to a top player.
Yeah, so even look at Fabinho, come to us instead of United, and then Van Dijk as well, choosing us obviously over City and Chelsea and all them. Becker, again, Chelsea, Madrid were said to be interested, beating them to it. It's just a really good club at the minute, isn't it? Like, we have that pulling power again.
Absolutely, mate. I'm all over it. Tom's going to jump on at 10:30, Connor, so is that okay with you?
Yeah, perfect.
Cool. Right, let me just give him a thumbs up. Excellent stuff. Right, back into the chat here. Could Klopp actually give him a hug? Klopp can give everybody a hug. I mean, I need a Klopp hug at this point, Connor.
I think we all need a Klopp hug at some point, don't we?
He's only 25 as well, Alisson Becker. We should point that one out. So, if we're looking at goalkeepers here, 35 isn't out of the realms of possibility for a goalkeeper to be still at a high level.
No, to look at Perchek's is 38 or something. He's still playing at a fairly high level.
Luke Small says, should start a new rumour like breaking news, Liverpool set to sign Linfield youngster. I think that's supposed to say Craig Holden, but he says Craig Holden for 750 million or 750,000.
That's a Manuel Labor tweet now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't want my name floating around Twitter. Thank you very much.
We should make up some name though.
We should do a combo of two names out of our group. So we should go like Dave Percy. Dave Percy or something like that. Mix up Tom and Dave.
Yeah. From Linfield.
Stizer says, I was on the United stand and I couldn't stop laughing. They're all saying Moniero out. So they all want Mourinho out already. It's, you know what? I'm so happy they're stuck with that. I'm so happy they're stuck with that miserable bastard, that as a manager.
He's just a dickhead, isn't he?
David Carroll says... Go on, Connor, go on.
They're re-signing Fellaini and signing fucking Lee Grant, and we're signing Fabinho and Alisson. It really puts into perspective,
Yeah, but what you have to remember here, Connor, is that they didn't want Fabinho. That's the important part in all of this. Doesn't matter that they made welcome to United videos and everything from them. They didn't want them.
No, of course not. And they're he was never top 5 in the world. He always said he was shite. He never said that at all.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, why would they want him? He doesn't even get in the Brazil squad, for God's sake, Connor. Sure, he's only shite. He's no Fred anyway.
Exactly, yeah. Fred from the Ukrainian league. You know how tough that is,
Eduardo Santiago says, hello Craig, I've read about Man United, City, Spurs and Chelsea complaining and complimenting our business. They all want to be like us. How great is this, guys? How fucking brilliant is this? That we're on here and other people are looking at our club for a change and are actually jealous of the business that we're doing, the manager that we have, the style of football we play, Connor. It's not just that we're buying players, it's the whole package.
It's everything. It's just really exciting time.
I think we said it last night as well, but happy birthday Nabil Fekir. Obviously Nabil's watching the stream. He's a regular watcher of the show. And Nabil, I'll be in touch, mate, in regards to taking the number 10 and stuff like that. But happy birthday, buddy. There's a cake on the way to you and a case of Diet Chav, of course.
I'm sure he tunes in every night just to learn enough about the team, isn't he?
He does. I mean, He tunes in every night, and Divock Origi is the person that gives us the thumbs down every night.
He knows it's on the way, I suppose, yeah.
Billy Walker says, have we got Alisson? We absolutely have, Billy. He is he's in the UK now. He was on a plane over from Rome. He's in the UK. He'll have his medical. The fee has been agreed with Roma, £67 million, give or take, with bonuses and stuff like that. It's believed that the deal with the player, the package, the wages and stuff has been agreed as well. It's going to be a 5-year deal. So look, it's just the formality of the medical, and we should see him, Connor, maybe late tomorrow evening, if not the day after.
I think it's scheduled for Wednesday or Saturday, I've seen.
Yeah, somebody else said Saturday as well, but that seems...
No idea why it's so long away, though.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand either. Like, I know the club have a game tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, it is, yeah. I'd say he just wants a few days to just look around. I'd say he wants to do like the Beatles tour and everything, is he?
Oh, defo. He defo wants to go up to Liverpool One shopping centre and all.
Yeah, that's it. He just wants to soak the place in, you know?
Yeah, he probably wants to stay in the holiday bin. So you know what, guys? Isn't it brilliant when we have little inside jokes on this stream that you guys all get, but then when we go over onto Twitter and we drop these bullshit stories and stuff on Twitter, people don't have a fucking clue what we're talking about. But then we see people like the Raptor come in and talk about Diet Chav and things like that, and it absolutely makes our day. So thank you guys so much for everything that you do for us. The White Warrior says, we need to start shifting the dead wood, Craig. Too many still there. This is a really interesting topic because the window's getting shorter and shorter, Connor. The days are running out. We need to keep somebody as a backup striker at this point. Origi so far doesn't look like he's going anywhere. There's been no interest in him. Daniel Sturridge, again, same type of thing. Doesn't like he's going anywhere. No interest in him, or no serious interest in him. And then, of course, we have Dominic Solanke, who was never really looking like he was going to be going anywhere because Klopp seems to like him. So, what do you think is going to happen in this situation? We're not going to start the season with all three of them at the club, surely.
No, I expect to see some of them leaving. It's hard to know. I'd say Brewster maybe might be our first choice, or backup. Like, I just can't see Origi Rings getting that many games. I think Origi's definitely going to be sold, and I'd imagine Ings will too. Solanke might even be loaned out. I just don't think he's good enough at the minute. I'd love to see Brewster given the chance.
Flatman says, can't you have Dave and Connor on at the same time, Craig? We can, yeah. We can definitely have 2 or 3 people on here at the same time. From a tech side, it's no problem. It's just sometimes, just making sure everybody has time to speak, Connor.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And some of these people can't jump on, so...
But yeah, look, Tom is coming up at 10:30, so you guys are going to get to have a chat with Tom again. We're going to get Tom's reaction to what's going on with Alisson Becker, see how he feels about it. I know Tom was like me in that, well, he was almost anybody but Karius at this point.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much everyone's thoughts at this point, because everyone's just sick of looking at him.
But you know what, this is a long way, isn't it, from the conversation the other day where we were trying to be forced to believe that Danny Ward could be the number 1 going into next season.
Dark times, isn't it, looking back on now?
It really is. I mean, look how things can change so quickly, guys. And I feel sorry for some of the journals, and by that I mean the likes of Melissa Reddy and stuff, who put out their honest thoughts at the start of the window, and they're proven to be right, that it's going to be an aggressive summer in the transfer market by the football club, and that they're going to try and act as quickly as they can. It just didn't work out with Fekir before the World Cup. Everything else seems to have gone to plan for the club so far, and sometimes we can be a little bit frustrated and stuff, but it is right as well to give people the fair dues when it is due.
Yeah, exactly. They've stuck with it, and they have dealt with a lot of abuse, because everyone just started panicking over the World Cup for no reason. Like, it was obvious that no business was going to be done until after it. So I don't know why people sent them abuse, saying where's all these deals. Like, they were obviously still coming up.
Luke says, during Fekir's birthday celebrations, a massive cake got rolled out. Kloppo popped up out of it in a pair of Speedos, waving a 5-year deal. The important thing though there, Luke, did he sign the fucking deal? That's the important thing there. The Junior reckons that Rebecca Tavares is our best signing this window.
So it's not far off, anyway. You see, Firmino's wife was apparently a big part of the Alisson deal.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that to me actually as well, that they spoke and she told them that London, they're all full of rent boys, every last single one of them. No, but in all fairness, I think she said something along the lines of It's a wonderful place to raise a family, Liverpool, something like that.
Something like that. Spent a lot of time with her during the World Cup, I think, or something like that. Trying to convince her to move to Liverpool. That's a nice place.
He's some man, Bobby, isn't he? He's some man.
Is Adrian Bobby.
No wonder he got the new. No wonder his deal was the first one given there.
I'd say it was like every minute he seems there. Come to Liverpool. No, come on. Mrs. Doyle out father head.
I'd say he made sure he was rooming with Alisson and all during the World Cup.
I'd say he made sure, but yeah.
Sitting there every night just playing You'll Never Walk Alone. Alisson gets out of the shower and all he's hearing is You'll Never Walk Alone, and constant videos of the Champions League run last year on loop and everything.
Just like subliminal messaging everywhere.
Did you see somebody put up a lovely gif of Becker doing a Cruyff turn on somebody? Or no, it was a back heel, sorry, he didn't quite do a Cruyff turn.
Flicked the ball around, yeah.
Oh, fucking savage. Absolutely savage. I mean, Larice, if you were watching, that's how it's done.
Oh, that'll make me nervous if we start doing stuff like that for us.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I fucking love this shit. I cannot wait. When is Brewster meant to be back, says Louis? As far as I was aware, it was the pre-season tour of the States he was supposed to be fit for.
Was it 4 or after that he was supposed to be back?
No, I heard he was supposed to be able to go on that pre-season tour. Now, this was going back a few weeks ago, so it may have changed.
Yeah, I can't remember what I heard, to be honest. Yeah, he's back some point soon.
Luke reckons the best name for a fake signing is Dido Chavo. I'm sure we could come up with some Spanish word for diet and have Chavo as the name of a football club or something.
Diego Chavo.
No, if we were to say from a club like we're signing, I don't know, fucking Johnny Meathead from, I don't know, Mundo Chavo FC or something.
What's that? Is a Mexican team like Los Chavas or something?
I don't know, mate. I really don't know.
Like some Chavas, I think.
Lots of people are talking about the Elvis Costello tune. Let's get the Alisson song out for the Elvis Costello tune. I don't know that song. I gather it's called Alisson, but I haven't got a fucking clue what it is.
No idea what it is.
Brian says, sell Origi and Ings, keep Lallana and Oxes out, which we will get to, by the way, guys. We're not ignoring the Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain news. We're just trying to keep happy for as long as we can. Keep Sturridge if you want to play backup, or else get 12 to 15 million for him. What makes it really tough here, and interesting as well, Connor, is that Origi and Sturridge are going into the last year of their contract. So getting a fee for them, it's going to be minuscule. So looking at the Sturridge situation, is it better perhaps for the club just to see how he gets on during the pre-season and perhaps give him till January and see what happens?
It's a tricky one really, because he has looked pretty good so far, and like he's playing a different type of role, but you just know with Danny Sturridge that we're going to look at him playing brilliantly, get our hopes up, keep him here, and in 3 weeks' time he's going to be injured again. But like, who's going to actually buy him? It's a problem. Big flashing message here for you from Jack Ronan. Says, Connor, contact Danny ASAP. Yeah, I've seen that there. Obviously that's breaking transfer news there from Danny, is it? This is code. Yeah, they're all just trying to put me off here, I think. Gary Richards says, hi Craig and Connor, I'm chuffed that we got Alisson. So am I, Gary, mate. I mean, chuffed probably isn't the word. Semi is probably the word I can use to describe how I'm feeling about Alisson at this moment in time. Only a semi? Only a semi, yeah. I mean, Jesus, Connor, obviously if I went full on, the laptop would flip. Come on, catch up, like. Junior says, up a Meccano in a year or two, let him develop. Did you see who Everton are really close to signing, actually, apparently? And this is the God's honest truth from what I believe. They're close to Malcolm. No, I seen that's bullshit. Sky came out and said it wasn't true. It was fucking them that was linking them when I seen it. I seen they were saying it wasn't true. Jesus Christ. Oh, so that's just a normal day, sure, isn't it? Yeah, Sky Italy will say one thing, and then Sky Sources will say another thing, and Sky England will say another thing again. Why don't they just stop with the Sky Sources thing? Bases, like. Sky Sources is Twitter. Why don't they just say that? It's Twitter and just bullshit they want to put out to manipulate bet markets. No, they could do that if they so wished, is what we're saying here. We're obviously not putting ourselves in a position where we're categorically stating anything. They are 100% doing that. Okay. I'll take that. There you go. Connor's taking that one on the chin, so. If they're coming after us, my name is Dave Henry, if you're looking for me, right? Yeah. My name is Manuel Labor.
Don't you say this, El Chapo, fuck's sake.
What's he saying?
Sorry, someone's just saying
Broke his
Alisson
leg
farted here.
plane.
Yeah, someone's trying to say he broke his leg getting off a plane. Don't you be saying that to me, fuck's sake. You see me crying on air. Louis
Maybe
saying,
falling
yeah,
asleep for them.
Malcolm did get rubbished. But they are.
They're just not signing anyone. I seen something that went from Malcolm to someone else, Januzaj. Links were gone in about the space of an hour.
Jesus Christ. But they've signed nobody. I love that. I love when they were just shown that list and they were like, Everton, no one.
Dave's on to me.
Oh, it's busy everywhere. Everybody's wanting a bit of Connor. Transfer news breaking all over the shop for Connor. Brian says, I think if Matip has a decent season, we should move him on next year. 25 million in Bosman signing is good business. He's on a big wage. Add some more and get Upamecano at the end of next season, mate. I'm on for that one. You know, my thoughts on Joel Matip are that he's too lightweight for this league and he gets too many injuries and he can never get a consistent run of games. He's a good player. He's a decent player actually when he's fit and available, but you know, I can't remember him getting 15 games in a row, Connor.
Nah, he's just far too inconsistent, isn't he? And like I say, he's just too lightweight and he just doesn't suit the game at all. I don't think. Like he just hasn't performed what we hoped he would. And like I'd much rather Lovren there instead of him. And if we get a decent offer from him, I'd be selling him straight away.
We are now 35 minutes into the stream, and this is the first time I think I've said this on the stream, so you're going to have to give me my 30 seconds here, guys. If you're enjoying the stream, if you're liking the chat, if you're enjoying what we're doing, please do take a moment. Give us a thumbs up. If you're watching in the background, you haven't yet subscribed, please do it. Please do so. You won't regret it. You'll enjoy the content. This week's Transfer Talk podcast went up late last night. Cash hosted that one with Chris, Dave and Charlie, I believe, was on that podcast, so that's up there ready for you guys as well. If you want to support the channel, you can go on to patreon.com/Anfield Agenda and you can become a monthly patron there. If you want to go on to PayPal, you can go paypal.me/Talk of the Terrace, or of course you can just go into PayPal and put in our email address, which is AnfieldAgenda@outlook.com. You know, all donations do help us to run the channel. That's enough of that. Back into the chat. What else have we got? Brewster said last night in his interview. Go on, sorry.
97 likes, 4 downvotes.
4 downvotes already. This has to be the same people every night. You know what? I'm not going to worry about them anymore. I'm not going to talk about the downvotes. Not tonight. Not on Alisson Becker night. Well, we better get ready to get Tom on as well. But Derek says Brewster said last night in his interview that he's out till Christmas.
Christmas? Jesus.
That couldn't be true.
Don't think that's true.
That couldn't be true. It couldn't be.
I don't think that, like, we knew about this deal for so long. I don't think they'd announced it now. Well, I think they're waiting because he's going to be playing soon. I imagine that's it anyway.
Luke Small says we should get Oblak as an extra middle finger and a fuck you sandwich to carry us.
Imagine that spending like 160 odd million on 2 keepers.
Can you imagine that though? Just out of spite so nobody else can have them.
That's what Chelsea do, don't they? Just sign players and send them out on loan. We should do
that. Tony Kelly says, top stream lads, keep them coming. I'm not reading the last bit. The White Warrior says, Karius was a broken man last week. He must be shattered now, Craig, with Alisson coming in and robbing his number 1 jersey. Broken is not the word. Look, yes, I get you. From a humanitarian side here, there is people involved in this, and he is going to lose his position as the club's number 1 goalkeeper, but football's a ruthless business, Connor, and Klopp has a job to do, and Klopp, as much as I'm sure he'd like to help carry us out, it's Klopp's legacy that's on the line here, and Klopp has a chance to put this club somewhere really, really special, and he always said when he came in that he was trying to set us up for the long term.
That's it, like, he's not going to... I don't think he's going to be worrying too much about if Karius is a bit upset. Like, that's the business, that's football, like. If you're replaced, then you fight. You stay and fight for your place, or you leave and go somewhere else where you can find game time. Like, I don't think Carey should take it personally. It's just the club wanting to progress.
El Chapo says, I don't know what this. Hang on, let me read this. I don't know what he's trying to say. He says, Craig, I do you to say. You've real I do have to say, I think he's trying to say, you've real loyal subscribers in here every night. The stream is kicking with only 1,500 subs. It's absolutely brilliant. We spoke about this, Connor, off air before a few times. For a channel that only has 1,500 subs, and I say only has, but that's still a really good number for us with a relatively new channel. We get constantly more views than we have subs, and our ratio of subs to likes each night is brilliant as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Everyone seems to be loving it, like, and we're getting a lot of new people every night too, which is brilliant to see.
Flatman says, I think somebody has thumb dyslexia.
Obviously don't know which one's up, yeah.
That's it, absolutely. If he stuck it up his fucking arse, he'd know the difference of which one it was, wouldn't he?
It's true.
Jack says, thanks Connor, he feels better now.
Oh yeah, he's delighted with me now, I think.
There you go. I'm making everybody happy. Dama says, Craig, I've flown to Rome Airport so I can shout out Inter at Mignolet. Don't worry, I'll get him.
Imagine the scenes if that actually happened now.
But you know what, Connor? If that happened, then that's it. We're full on starting a company to put out rumours.
I think we should do that anyway.
Do you want your player moved on? Contact Mundo Sporto Inc. We can move on any player for a fee. Cameron says, any truth in the Vida rumours? I fucking hope not.
No, I think they were rubbish.
I really hope not. Sorry, Connor, you were saying something there.
No, I don't think so. I think I finished.
Owen McKeever says, hello, loads of Shamrock. See, you're getting it now, Owen. You're getting it, buddy. I see these comments when you put the stuff after it. Again, Dar says something similar on. Shouldn't we get a new goalkeeper coach for Alisson? Surely we can't be trusting Achterberg. And that's a big concern that people have, Connor, and I understand why. It's all well and good, and it's absolutely amazing that we're bringing in a goalkeeper as good as Alisson Becker, but I understand why the guys have some worries about the goalkeeping coach.
Yeah, like, does Achterberg speak Portuguese? I doubt that, and
he speaks Tranmereese.
Becker's English isn't too great, I'd imagine, either.
I know, he's just commentary for Wimbledon every year, he's alright.
That's a fair point, actually.
He's not too bad at all.
I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in someone else to coach him. I hope they do.
I'm just going through the friendlies here tonight just to try and see what the final score was. 1-1 between Bury and Everton. So the pre-season champions were held 1-1 by Bury tonight. It's a long way back from that 22-0, isn't it?
That was a joke. Did you see the clip of the keeper just walking off?
It was an absolute joke.
No benefit to that game at all.
Kieran says that Joyce said the medical's tomorrow. I thought Joyce was on holidays, no? Was he not away?
No, apparently he's back. Everyone else said Saturday.
Yeah, I seen Sky Italia saying Saturday when I watched it.
Did it make no sense to wait that long though?
Yeah, exactly. It made no sense to me at all. I was actually screaming abuse at your woman on the telly when she was saying that my wife was breaking her shite laughing at me. I was like, it's not going to be Saturday, you silly, silly person. And then you come on here and piss and be cornflakes.
You need to just live stream your whole life, I think.
It would be, we would be kicked off. I'm telling you now, we'd be kicked. If you seen the puss on me earlier on when I didn't get my Liverpool shirt.
Yeah, I know, you were shouting down the Skype call at me earlier with it.
I was going around the house like an absolute antichrist. And the sad thing is, one of the guy that does the deliveries for DPD, the people that deliver the Liverpool jerseys over here in Ireland, he lives in my estate. So I can see his van, yeah, and I'm looking at his van going, I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you and your entire company. Even though he's an absolutely lovely chap, like, he's a really lovely guy.
Just not very good at his job.
Just doesn't have my Liverpool jersey today, so I'm really upset. What number is Alisson taking? Tom wants to know. And do you know what? I don't know. Say again?
13 is my guess. I have no idea why, it just came into my head.
13. 1 would be my guess.
6-year contract apparently too.
6?
6, that's what Paul Joyce is saying now.
Oh, I love Paul
Alisson
Joyce.
arrived in the UK ahead of medical tomorrow. Liverpool prepared 6-year contract.
Do you know what, Sky? I take your 5-year contract and I raise you a year. 6 years. Boom. Deal with it.
It's a long contract.
It is, but I suppose when you're spending that much dough on a player,
that's it. You just want to tie him down for that long. You don't want him leaving in 2 years' time.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that is true. I mean, it's not unusual now. 6-year contracts are something that happening more and more.
Yeah, who was it for Atletico? It was Saul. They signed for like 10 years or something ridiculous like that.
That is true, actually. Yeah, there was one mad contract, wasn't there? Colin says, Craig, do you still think we'll sign Fekir? You know what, mate? I honestly don't know. I've been saying yes, 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 yes all along. We've been sent some stuff today that, obviously we're not going to broadcast because we don't know the validity of it, but the stuff we were sent, Connor, suggested that maybe there's still a bit of a way to go in that Fekir deal.
Yeah, I don't know whether that was reliable or not, to be honest. But yeah, what we heard was, I don't know what way to put it. I don't want to actually give out the information because it could be complete bollocks.
Let's put it this way: the information that we were given said there was a long way to go on it, and it suggested two possible alternatives the club may be looking at.
Yeah, we're not saying anything, but maybe Manuel Labor has some theories on it.
Exactly. I mean, what we can't say, Manuel can. He's got the freedom of the press.
That's it, yeah.
Do we have Tom on the line?
Indeed, we do.
Oh, this is sexy. A threesome. Look at this. Look at this. An Alisson Becker sandwich.
This just got weird.
Just got weird.
How are we doing this evening? How's Alisson going?
People are loving them a bit of Alisson. Can you guys hear Tom okay, by the way? Let me just check that one. Yeah, Junior says hiya Tom, so we're all good there with that one. Tom, mate, how are you reacting to this one? How are you feeling about the news? And Joycey's just saying, by the way, Tom, 6-year deal.
Yeah, I literally just got the notification off on my phone just now. Yeah, really happy. I think Oblak is probably the better keeper overall, but I've always said that I think I actually preferred Alisson because of his kind of distribution. It really makes him stand out, and the way that he can pass the ball and get us on the attack quickly. Yeah, it's really exciting times. It's just nice because the keeper has been such a problem position since even the end of Pepe Reina's time, and now hopefully this will sort it out for at least the next 6-7 years minimum. You'd hope so. Hopefully longer. So yeah, it's really good to be buying these top class players again as well. So yeah, just positives all round.
And your thoughts, mate, on the fact that Liverpool aren't just breaking the world record fee for a goalkeeper; they're almost doubling it, which is nuts.
They're absolutely smashing it. They're absolutely smashing those records. And I saw a tweet earlier. I think at one point last year, our record transfer fee was 35 million, and that has just been within a year, that's been broken about 4 or 5 times with different players. It's just absolutely insane, the amount of money that we're putting into it. And honestly, that's what I've wanted all along. And it's just and it's great to see that we're actually putting our money where our mouth is, and we're piping up, and we're dining at the top table of European football talent, and hopefully that's where we'll be dining for many years to come.
Connor, we haven't really spoke about that Tom just mentioned there. We've been smashing our own transfer record left, right and centre over the past 18 months.
Yeah, I've been calling out for ages just to spend money on someone, just to get Andy Carroll off top of that list. So that was just a shambles having him up there. I think we have 6 or 7 above him now, which is brilliant.
But the important thing to know here, Connor, is that Jack wants to know, do you want to go-karting?
He won't stop asking me.
You have a full licence now. You're entitled to drive on the roads, Connor. You don't need to drive on go-kart tracks anymore.
Fucking go-karts. Go drag racing.
Yeah, so Tom, Connor passed his driving test today.
Oh, nice. Well done. How many minors did you get?
I think it was 3. Not too bad.
Nice, you beat me. I got 8 or something stupid, so well done. Nice.
Now you can drive your tractor on the motorways, Connor.
Yeah, go along 5 kilometres an hour. That'll be fun.
Have you got a tractor?
Yeah. Well, it's not mine,
nice.
but yeah, I live on a farm. So.
Proper whip. Get that round the Irish tracks.
Connor lives on a farm and Tom lives on an estate, and by estate I don't mean a council estate, I mean a fucking country estate.
No, it's a proper South London council estate. That's where I live. 100%.
Look, guys, while I have you both on, we're going to be talking positives all night, but it is time to have a little chat about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. And the news broke today that it looks like he may miss the majority of this season with his ACL injury. And Tom, an interesting point here, and I don't know if you've seen it because I know you were at work and you're only just getting back, so thank you for joining us so quickly, but Klopp seemed to suggest that they knew that this was going to be a really long thing straight away.
Yeah, and I think in the James Pearce article, I did manage to see this, and in the James Pearce's article, he said he talks about how Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't want to release kind of the information, the extent of how long he was out, because it was, it would have, I think the quote is, ruined the feel-good factor around the club, like as we were going to the Champions League, which I think shows what a top-class bloke like Chambo is, and I think we already knew it, but it just reinforces that fact. He's absolutely devastated. I just feel so bad for him. Like, I don't think I felt this bad for an injured player before, because he's missed the Champions League final, and he's been at Arsenal for years, and they've never even got past round 16 or whatever. And this is his one chance to get to a final, and he can't even play. England got to a semi-final of a World Cup, and he would 100% have been in that team as well. And now he's going to miss the whole of next season with all these amazing players that we're buying. On a personal level, I feel absolutely gutted for him, and I just hope he can come back and and be stronger than he was. That's even if he can get in the team. Like, I love him, and I've just like poured my heart out to him. But would he actually get in this team right now? I don't know. But I mean, Klopp does like to rotate, I guess, and I would have loved to have him as an option. I'd have him over Lallana any day. So yeah, I'm absolutely gutted for him.
And Connor, look, it is fair to say that when he came in last season, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has made a big impact both on and off the field, particularly with Liverpool fans. And this news today really is devastating.
Yeah, it's awful, even from a personal standpoint. Like Tom said, he missed out on the biggest final of his career probably, and England the World Cup. And like, with all these new midfielders coming in, he's going to really struggle to break back into that team when he does come back. Like, you see, like, if he's going to be off for 18 months altogether. We've seen with Danny Ings coming back from that was a 2-year injury he had, or like 2 1-year injuries, whatever it was. He was out for a long time anyway, and like, he's really struggled to get back on form, and I just hope it's not the same with him when he comes back.
Didn't the same thing happen with was it Moreno near the start of last season, when he was actually playing well, and then he got injured in like a Champions League game or something, or a cup game? And he went off absolutely devastated. And then Robertson came in and played absolutely amazingly. And that was all fantastic, and we love that. But what I'm trying to say is, Moreno has not even had a sniff of getting back in that team. And like Con said, I think it could be a real struggle for him to actually assert himself back into that starting 11 when he comes back.
It's going to be tough anyway, really, with new signings.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Tom, there's an interesting comment here in this chat, and it's something I want to get your view on. Eric Welry says FSG have really stepped it up now, and as somebody who was, I won't say anti-FSG, but a little bit sceptical about FSG
critical. I'd say I was very critical of them. Yeah.
How do you feel now?
First thing I want to say, to be fair, and people might pull me up on this, but them releasing the Oxlade-Chamberlain stuff now is just the most classic FSG PR machine thing like ever, kind of sandwiching it in between like 2 sets of good news with like the Alisson. They always do this. They always break the bad news when there's some good news or something like that, or they always have bad news and then good news. Or it's just classic FSG. Right now, yeah, I'm buzzing for them. Like, genuinely, like I'm absolutely ecstatic that they've clearly changed tactics. Like I said, I was very heavily critical of them in the past, and I still stand by that, because I don't know about you guys, but at the time, were you like 100% happy with kind of the signings we were making, or like the quality of them, or even just the general direction of the club? Like, for example, after 13-14, were you really happy with how we dealt with that transfer window, and how we sold Suarez and how badly we replaced him?
No, it was a fucking shambles, Tom. It was an absolute shambles. To be in a situation where we were looking at Balotelli as our only option, somebody who our manager had come out and categorically denied that we were going to sign.
Exactly. That just shows what kind of a shit show it was at that point. And I still stand by it. That was derived top down from FSG, in my opinion. And like I said, I still stand by that, because those signings were just terrible, and we were quite consistently poor in that sense. But now the tactic has clearly changed. Like I said, our transfer record a year ago was 35 million. Now we're just smashing out 70 million for a keeper, just because we just need to sort that position. We smashed 75 million for Van Dijk because we wanted that player and we needed to sort that position. This is genuinely what I wanted. I know there's a lot of like FSG out brigade or whatever, like now saying, yeah, this is what we always wanted, you know, this is all because of us. That's not what I'm saying. Well, I'm not saying it's because of me, but what I'm saying is this is what I wanted us to be, you know, active and proactive in the transfer market, getting these top players, aiming high and acting like a big club, so like a proper big club. And that's what's happening, and it's fantastic to see. And I think everyone can agree with me. This is what we all want, really. Like, we all want to sign these top players and have an amazing team, and that's what they're delivering now. So right now, I cannot fault them one bit. Like, I'm happy to say that my opinion has changed 100%, because how can you complain at signing Van Dijk and getting Alisson in? Like, how can you complain at that? You know, we got Keita, we got Salah. Like, just listing those players is just insane. Like, yeah, the tactics have changed, and I'm all completely 100% in favour of it.
Connor, as Thomas said, look, the tactics have changed. The way we go about our business has changed. The calibre of player that we're going after has changed. But what I wonder is how much of this is down to the trust that the owners have given to the manager.
I'd say it's a good bit anyway, because like he's given them no reason not to trust him. Like, he's done everything right so far, and he's gotten the fans out behind the team and just brought the whole club back to a positive attitude, and brought every player he's brought in has just improved tenfold as well. So they've no reason not to back him on transfers, really. And I'd say it's about 90% Klopp, to be honest. They just back him. They just know they'll get results if they give him what he wants.
Gaz Woodcock is really happy in the chat, guys. He says, "Come on, you mighty red men." Now that is intent, and that's exactly what it is. Tom, this is Liverpool Football Club saying that we're here to win the league. We're here to take over. Like, we're not here fucking about anymore.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, if you wanted a signal that we're gunning for the league this year, it's signing a £70 million goalkeeper. I don't think there's any signal like bigger than that. Sadly, that's the kind of stuff that we have to do now to actually even compete for the league, because Man City have just raised the bar so much. Neymar has made transfers ridiculous now. Sadly, this is what it has to come down to. For us to be league contenders. But yeah, you're exactly right. You know, I'm just thinking of our team for next season. Like, I'm just thinking of that spine of Alisson, Van Dijk, what we got, like Keita, Firmino, Salah. It's just insane. Like, just listing that team is insane, and that's what wins you the games. Is the quality of those players, and the quality has certainly gone up massive levels, and it is definitely a minimum a title challenge team. I'd be very surprised if we didn't at least challenge for the league this year. Very, very surprised.
It's fucking sexy as fuck, buddy, is what it is. It's absolutely delicious.
It's ridiculous. I'm genuinely just thinking of that team in my head. Just going through it now. We got Andy Robbo on the left. Just absolutely stamina, like 100% running for you no matter what. You can't outrun him.
Chasing you around the pitch forever.
Exactly. He'll press a keeper, for fuck's sake. Our left back presses the keeper. Yeah. Let's think about that, right? Then we got Van Dijk, who can just spray it left, right, and centre, and is an absolute monster. Lovren's improved a lot. Trent is an absolute baller. I fucking love Trent. Obviously, we've got Alisson in goal. I think you've probably talked about him a lot, so we'll skip over him. Fabinho, an absolute rock and beast. Centre defensive mid. He's tall, he's quick, he's powerful.
And he's bald, which is exactly really important.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all know all the best centre defensive mids are bald, apparently. And that's a no nonsense player that we've been needing for so long. Then we're getting Naby Keita, arguably one of the best midfielders in the world, definitely in like the Bundesliga. And I haven't watched him loads, but from what I've seen of him and what I believe he could do in this team with his dribbling, he could be insane. And I think a lot of people are super excited to see him, have a proper run in the team. We've got potentially Fekir coming. I'm not sure if you talked about that. I think that deal is still very much on, particularly now that the Chamberlain news has come out. I think that makes it even more realistic that we're going for Fekir, or an attacking midfielder at least. He's a quality player. And then we got our front three, and we already know what damage they can do. They can't. I don't think they can really score more goals than they did last season, but they can they can get a lot of help from the rest of that improved team. And we already did very well last season, and with more depth and a lot more quality and a better defence, a better goalkeeper, this team could go so far like this season. Honestly, this is the best Liverpool team and most positive I've been going into a season in probably maybe even ever. Genuinely, like since I've been supporting Liverpool, it could genuinely be the best team.
And Connor, one of the best parts about all those points that Tom was making there is he was going through and he was listing the players. In my head, I was going through and I was listing their ages, and they're all young men.
Yeah, like imagine this team in 3 or 4 years' time when they all get to play each other for a few years and probably a few more improvements as well. Like, we're going to be just dominating, aren't we? I hope we are now. Like, I can see this team just dominating the English football for a few years now.
Please God, buddy, please God. And we have the likes of Brewster, and then right on the fringes, Ben Woodburn as well, all trying to stake their place. Tom, this is really, really good stuff.
Yeah, like, yeah, Ryan Brewster signed a new deal, didn't he? And he was really well sought after. And I think he could get some game time, you know. I reckon Ings and Origi might leave. I feel like we've got enough kind of sub-strikers at the moment. You know, so then that will leave us with Solanke and Brewster. And I think Brewster's got a good chance to get some game time if he doesn't go out on loan. I really do, because Klopp clearly loves him. And he really wanted him to stay. So, yeah, he could be a really interesting player to watch this season.
A really interesting point in the chat from VA. He says he's an egg like you, Craig, in regards to Fabinho. And that is important, Connor. We can't underestimate the value of a good egg in a team.
I think it's just integral to it, isn't it? It's integral to a good breakfast, and it's integral to a good team, like, and a good stream as well, obviously.
I mean, if he looked a little bit more like Bateson, we'd be grand. I think that's the only thing he's lacking.
You could definitely pass off for him at some of them conventions and all.
I wouldn't mind the fucking money he probably brings in, to be fair. I'm sure that YouTube account of his makes a few quid.
Sure it does, yeah. The amount of abuse he gets, though.
I take it.
It probably will be worth it, though.
I get it for free, like, so. Tom, it's easy to get excited, buddy, about the signings that we're making and the team that we have, but with the World Cup having fucked up the schedule for players getting back and things like that, it's vitally important that we hit the ground running this season, even though we won't probably have our strongest team out until maybe after that stupid, useless international break that comes in September, maybe October, maybe even November, before players get into the rhythm and we see that real spine taking effect.
Yeah, I think that is a valid point, but you know we've got to consider that the rest of the league have got the same thing to deal with. I feel like to be fair, we didn't actually have that many players at the World Cup or went that far. I mean, it was Henderson, Lovren, I guess Firmino to an extent, Firmino and Alisson, maybe. But I feel like a lot of other teams had a lot more players that went to the World Cup. But I see what you mean in terms of like rhythm and. Yeah, because Klopp is obsessed with that and getting your fitness up. It will take quite a bit of time, but now I just look at our depth and think, you know, if they do gel quickly enough, then we should be okay. The problem is now we're getting so excited and that we've got such a good team and the expectations have really rocketed up. I think not too much, as in like obviously I've always been. Advocating our expectations to be higher because I feel like we should be at the top table, but it's going to be like if we draw a game, or you know, like if we draw to West Ham, or if we slip up and lose to a shit team in the first few games, that I'm going to feel pretty gutted because Man City they dropped like 12 points all last season or something like that. Every single point is absolute gold dust now. Like if we're going to beat them to the Premier League. Which I think that's exactly where we're aiming for. So, like, yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have. I think I'm just quite nervous of dropping those silly points that we all know that it can happen, right, to anyone.
114 points coming up this season from Liverpool, Tom.
114.
Yeah, the max.
Huge. Craig, I wonder how much money you could get on that. What are the odds on that? You reckon?
I don't know. William Hill seemed to be quoting odds on everything, Connor, today, so maybe ask them.
Yeah, they're giving odds on our fake transfer rumours anyway, so I'm sure if you hit him up on Twitter, they'll let you know.
3-1 for Simon Mignolet to join Inter Milan, who it's just been broken on Mundo Sporto that he's been linked to them.
Yeah, 3-1 early.
It's pretty scabby odds for a transfer that absolutely is not going to happen.
They probably put that low to make it seem like it's actually realistic. Someone probably stuck probably €50 on it then.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of love for you both in the chat here and some lovely comments. So I'm sure there's people here that might want to touch base with you guys on Twitter. So can you just give us a shout out for your Twitter handles to the guys in case they want to give you a follow? So Connor, I'll come to you first, buddy.
Yeah, at ConArtist LFC. If you want to follow me, I just tweet bullshit and a few edits from time to time. Pretty much it.
Yeah, so at ConArtist LFC, and it's spelled exactly as it sounds, at ConArtist LFC. And Tom, yourself?
I am at don't laugh, guys. Liverpool truly. It was one of the only ones like that I thought was left at the time. I'm mostly a retweet merchant or a like merchant, to be fair. I don't tweet too much. I tweeted about Oxlade-Chamberlain earlier, and I thought it would bang. I was so nice about him, and he's had 0 likes and 0 retweets, so I'm very upset.
Don't worry, I got you, Tom. I'm getting it now.
I'm going to put it in the chat as well. I'm going to put my thing in the chat. There we go. It's not beggy or anything. I even put it in caps, so please don't ban me, con. But yeah, so follow me on there. And make sure you follow Anfield Agenda as well. There you go. I've got the plug in there, guys.
Absolutely, do follow. We passed 26,000 followers actually last night, Tom.
Wow, huge. 26,000.
Yeah, Anfield Agenda now has 26,000 followers on Twitter.
Well, and what's it? Anfield HQ, we're coming for you. There we go. That's a good chant right there.
Everybody, we're coming for your asses.
Man City, we're coming for you. We're coming for the Premier League, guys. Our team is sick. Our team is fucking sick. We're spending 70 million on Alisson. 70 million.
Just because it's a Wednesday, Tom.
Yeah, just because it's a Wednesday. Yeah, why not? John Henry's just burning up his cigars with like $100 bills, spraying them over Alisson, like just pictures of Alisson. He's just he's making it rain all over Alisson's picture. Well,
loving it.
What a man.
Absolutely loving it. Derek Branker, Connor, just points out that Brewster is out for Christmas. He just checked.
Jesus, I didn't think he was that long. I thought he was back to Jordan Silver.
Wait,
what's our plan for
Brewster?
backup flicker then?
Yeah, I thought, Tom, he was supposed to be ready for the USA leg of the pre-season tour, but people are saying Christmas now.
That's not good. I mean, that's either like something kind of long term, or that's like a fresh thing, I reckon. Because I'm. To be fair, I might have missed something in in an article, but I don't remember it being that long. Like that. How long would that be? Like a year?
Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah.
We would have definitely heard about that if it was that before, surely.
Yeah, no, when the club were announcing his new contract and stuff like that, and look, I know that I'm not going to put a negative out around it, but there was no talk of an extended injury or anything like that.
No, I didn't see any of that either. Like you said, it would be a bit of a weird place to put injury news, but I don't know. Yeah, a bit of a weird one.
I'm having this from Lubac, by the way. I'm absolutely having this. Look, the ball jokes keep coming, but this is one of the best ones. He said, Craig is like our football Buddha to get your Liverpool enlightenment. Phil, mate, stop doing this to me. As much as I love you, buddy, you're coming in, you're hurting me here. He says, lads, that Paul Joyce has said the Alisson deal is the last of our spending.
Yeah, I'm just reading this Dom King's report now, apparently.
Do you reckon this again is a little game around Johnny Cunty locks and Fekir?
I'd say so.
100%, surely. Like, I don't see that transfer got so far, like down the line. I just can't see it not happening now. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being fickle here. Maybe I'm being too positive, which would be insane. Me being too positive, but I don't know. I've still got a feeling about that. I mean, we've had them. I feel like we've had them on strings the whole summer. Aulas was like absolutely shitting himself a couple of weeks ago, and they're flapping so much because they want money for him. And Fekir obviously wants to come to Liverpool, so yeah, I reckon it's all a big game.
Connor, could this work in our favour? Could we now go to Leon and say, look, honestly, we haven't got a shilling left. We're after spending £67 million on a goalkeeper. There is no money there for Fekir. We cannot afford the money that you're asking.
Look, we have Origi and our new signing Tom Henry to give him, sure. Just swap deal out with that.
Absolutely. No, we were going with Dave Percy, weren't we?
Yeah, change it back to Tom Henry, so it sounds more English.
It just sounds like John W. Henry.
That's actually fair.
Dave Percy.
Sure, Manuel Labor said we're making 3 signings this week, so...
He did not, did he?
He did, yeah. So that can't be right. Like,
Fakir confirmed.
Man.
Done deal. If he's reporting it, 100% legitimate source.
Junior says, do you think that Maxi is reliable on Twitter? I'm going to
No,
leave this
he's
to
not.
you guys because I don't know who the fuck he is.
Maxi? Which one?
If it's
100%
Maxi Rodriguez, then yeah, defo, but
If someone
What's
has
his-
ITK in their name, then they're definitely not actually knowing something.
who is this guy? I don't know who he is.
Wait, is it Maxi Angelo?
No, he's just he's good. He's good on Italian football. There's a guy called Maxi_ITK.
Yeah, fuck that. If he has ITK in his name, he's obviously a fucking idiot.
So I'm saying, like, his profile picture is literally a clock with like Alisson Becker and someone else on it.
Yeah, no. Then the answer to that would have to be an absolute fuck you. Look,
Manuel Lavor is more reliable than him.
no, but being realistic, there are some people on Twitter who, look, there's probably a lot of people that may have inside information that we don't know about, but we tend, like everybody else, Tom, to try and just stick to the reliable sources, the Melissa Reddys, the James Pearces, the Paul Joyces. You know, I've been known to listen to the stuff that Graham Kelly has to say from time to time as well.
Yeah, look, I think it's fine to dabble in, you know, in the hype and in the random claims. You know, that's part of being a football fan nowadays, as part of the transfer window and being on Twitter. And it is like, it's fun. Like, I love the tracking planes, oh yeah, just saw Alisson in Costa in Keswick or something like that. I don't know, like all the stuff like that's fun, right? But then you get the people that, and I wish I could name names, but I'm not gonna. You just get the people that people will know. They claim that they know stuff. They claim that they actually have a source in the club, and it's just complete fucking bollocks. I mean, please, guys, if anyone listening, please, I beg you, just don't believe the shit, please. Like, I'm genuinely begging you here. You must hear it in my voice. It really pisses me off how people think that certain like accounts on Twitter are like actual legit sources. Like, I just can't get over like how people actually believe that. Like, people will believe anything. Honestly, they will believe anything, and I'm just like, no. Like you were saying, Greg, stick to the main journos. Honestly, like, you can get such a good idea of what's going on with transfers if you just stick to some really like, the certified journalists. There's even some smaller accounts. Like, there's a guy called well, I'll just look him up now. I think, is it Mario? Yeah, Mario Aquilina. Yeah, it's at Mario Aquilina. I'll put it in the chat in a minute, probably. He's a senior lecturer at the University of Malta, and I've seen him like for a few years now, like on Twitter. And he's a massive Liverpool fan, and he seems really on the pulse with anything to do with like Italian like players and leaks and stuff like that. And you know, he doesn't claim. I don't think he claims to actually know stuff, but he just gives out like really good opinions, and you know, and like tweets out sources and things like that. Like, he retweets Fabrizio Romano and stuff like that, and he gives a really good opinion. Like, that's fine. It's when you get people that actually claim they know stuff and have sources in them. If someone claims to know something for sure and have a source in Liverpool, then they're lying.
And do you know what else is a good sign, Tom? If somebody fucking deletes tweets when they're wrong.
Oh, that's classic ITK right there. That's number one rule in the ITK book. Always delete your tweets, because then you could just claim, oh yeah, well, I didn't say that, or look at my success rate. You know, I got a 90% success rate. Yeah, that's fine when you delete every fucking claim that you make. Oh, that really pisses me off.
There's one guy. What's the guy's name? He's a foreign guy. He's pretending he's a journo in the last two transfer windows, and he was completely wrong about so many. He was one of the people that was first on the scene for the Liverpool for Riyad Mahrez, and he said Riyad Mahrez was coming all along. He said he's coming, and I just can't think of this guy's name because I blocked him so quickly. No.
Has he got a blue tick? I think I know who you mean, and I can't remember who it is as well. Again,
he does have a blue tick. Yeah, there's a picture of him standing inside the stadium.
Yes, I know who you mean, and I can't remember the name. Someone in the chat must know. No, it's not Ivan Svakov. Ivan Svakov.
Come on, guys, help us out. Somebody must know the name of this guy, and he does my fucking head in.
claims to know stuff, and it's clearly bollocks.
Somebody else says Dave O'Cop is the worst. And do you know what? Owen said Dave O'Cop is the worst. The only problem I have with Dave O'Cop is that the prick banned me and blocked me on Twitter within a week of me joining Twitter, and I've never interacted with him in my life. So,
Well,
I can't even tell you if he's legit or not because I've never been able to look at his stuff.
He's definitely not, like, he doesn't make stuff up, I don't think. He's probably been misled by some sources, but I wouldn't take his word as gospel. Like, you got like the pinnacle, which is basically Paul Joyce, I reckon, because he triple checks everything, and that's why he's always late, like with news, because he triple checks it, because he wants to be 100% accurate, and I really respect that. Yeah, Dave, I think he kind of grabs a lot of quotes from other sources, which is fine. But yeah, I'm not too sure what kind of news he's had like on his own recently. I don't know what you think, Con.
Dave,
yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of passes on stuff. He's like, you ever seen Falls from Eno? I think his name is Matt.
Yeah.
He just does that. He kind of just rounds up all
Mutaz Cheat, that's him.
Mutaz, that's it, yes.
That's the guy.
Who said that?
Idiot, that guy.
He is an absolute fraud.
Junior. Yeah, Mutaz, yeah.
And he said Sarri was done about 3 months ago, saying he'd be in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, he's an absolute fraud.
He's got 45,000 followers and a blue tick and a freaking press pass in his fucking picture. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, he's a sports journalist at Vavel.com. They've got nearly the same number of followers as him. I think
that's about Mundo Sport, though. I'd say.
I mean, I have a press pass as well, Tom. I can whack it up on the screen anytime, like, but it's absolute fucking joke.
You don't have a blue tick and.
Don't get me started on why I don't have a blue tick. Don't get me started.
Okay, let's not go there. But...
It's a very sore point.
Ferno
says,
well.
Ferno says, you think Graham Kelly is legit? And question mark. Do I think he's legit? I don't know in what sense you mean that. Do I think he does know things about Liverpool Football Club and he has more sources than normal fans? Then yes, 100%. I think Graham Kelly has his finger on the pulse of Liverpool Football Club. I won't say that he gets everything 100% correct, but I would say that I absolutely believe, Connor, that Graham Kelly in no way ever puts out anything just to be malicious, and anything that he does say he believes to be the truth.
Yeah, he just passes on what he hears. Like, I don't think he's ever made anything up, to be honest. Like, and he is spot on with most things, to be fair. Like,
nobody's ever going to be spot on all the time because things change quickly.
That's exactly it. Like, even with that friggin' Manuel Livor page earlier, I obviously just tweet random stuff off that and just make guesswork and all. But like, someone was saying, "Oh, you're wrong on this," and they're saying like, "Well, like, just a reporter, how are you supposed to know if something goes wrong? That's not my fault." And like, I'm sure a lot of reporters are in that kind of situation where they're told this will be done by 6 o'clock or whatever, and then suddenly something changes and it's pushed back a day or two, and then they're suddenly looking bad. Like it must be very tough. Like,
somebody else, Sarah, says, "Is Grizz Khan any good?" I'm gonna have to pass on answering this question, guys, for obvious reasons, because Grizz used to be on a podcast with me before he stuck a knife in my back. But yeah, I'm gonna say nothing on this one. But if you guys want to answer it, work away.
I don't know. It might get me worked up, Craig. It might get me worked up. Con, I'll give this one to you, mate.
In short, no. Don't trust him.
Just don't, right? I'm already getting worked up here. Fuck it. Just don't, right? Just don't follow him. Just don't listen to what he says, please.
All you need is Graham Kelly, Manuel Livor, and Indy Kyla. That's all you need.
And it's important to point out that I've said absolutely nothing against Grizz Khan in any way, shape, or form here.
That was all me. Come after me, Dave Henry.
I don't even count Indy as like an ITK anymore. Like he's so far past that. Like he's so he's become a joke.
Himself,
yeah, he's become like a parody of himself. Like if people still believe that, then fuck me, there really is no hope for football Twitter.
Indy Kayla is a god.
Yeah, he was the original. To be fair,
I love him. He genuinely is, a Twitter staple at this point. Just obviously don't believe anything he says, but if you take it from that context and just, I mean, he's come up with some of the funniest tweets I've ever seen on Twitter.
He's just a legend, isn't he?
He really is. I mean, and the dedication and work that must go into running that. I'd say there's more than a few people. Right, let's get through it. Melissa Reddy is bae, says Prez Firmino. And look, I have to say, of all the journalists that put in the hours and put in the work, I enjoy Melissa Reddy's stuff. Some of the articles she writes are some of the best that I've ever read. I really have to say, Connor, I really do like Melissa Reddy as a journo.
Yeah, she's come out of nowhere really in the last few years. Like she's role selected, I suppose, the top of the journalist world. Like she's probably top 3 now with Pearson Joyce on Liverpool News. Like she has great contacts and her work is great. Like that was it the article about the story of how Liverpool got to the final and all. It was just a brilliant read, and
the one about Firmino as well was brilliant.
Yeah, that one's well. Like she's just a top class writer and she deserves all her success.
Yeah, she does. She works really, really hard, and absolutely, as Connor said, she deserves every bit of success. She's a fantastic journalist, as is, James Pearce, Paul Joyce. There's a lot of good journalists out there, Tom.
Yeah, there are, and you know, like I said, if you follow the right ones, you can see who's clearly connected to the club and who's got, you know, a really good kind of source. What an interesting one actually is Ben Smith. He used to work at the BBC. He was very well connected with FSG. He doesn't really tweet. He doesn't do football anymore. I think he's gone away from that. He started his own business. But I did see a tweet from him not too long ago. Someone was asking him about LFC transfer news, and he said patience. He'd replied to them like it's just patience. So he still clearly knows quite a lot. So he might be a cheeky one to go follow. I think it's just at Ben Smith or something like that. You'll find him because other Liverpool fans do follow him. Yeah, he could be a cheeky one.
Ferno says Anfield Agenda needs a blue tick. What do you gents think on that one? Are we gonna ever get a blue tick on that account?
Nah, Tommy Robinson ruined Twitter, so no one's getting blue ticks. That's pretty much it.
Was it Tommy Robinson though? I wonder, was it him or was it the guy in America, the racist guy, or the white supremacist?
Just a mixture of all of them, I'd say.
It's basically all fascist pricks that had blue ticks. It's all their fault, really.
Yeah, so they fucked it up for the rest of us, and you're right, we should have a blue tick. I mean, Mundo Sporto was obviously just a day or two away from a blue tick, Connor.
Yeah, we're getting that soon. I think like the reliable news outlet like that just needs blue tick so people can know to trust them.
Sarah says, sorry Craig, didn't know that about the Grizz Khan thing. No need to apologise at all. I just won't give them the satisfaction of coming on here and talking negative about anybody that I used to work with, because lots of the people that I used to work on podcasts with are brilliant. Hughesy, an absolute gentleman. Terry, an absolute gentleman. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave that one. Flatman says, even Pearce gets things wrong as he speaks to the club once a week and then it might change. And that's a fair point, Connor. Things move damn quickly in the football world. And the journalists like the Melissa Reddy's, Joyce's, James Pearce's and stuff, they're probably some of the few ones that do still double check, triple check facts, run things through editors because they don't want to print anything that's false.
Yeah, that's why they don't post very often, like, because the only postings are like 99.9% sure are correct. Because if they have one thing wrong, then people will stop believing them and they lose all credibility. So they have to be really, really careful. It must be very stressful, I'd say. Just having that pressure on, they have to get everything right. Otherwise, people just won't look at you anymore, and that's kind of the end of your career, like.
Tom, here's a belter of a line for you, and Phil Lindsay is brilliant. Phil Lindsay comes into the chat every night and gives us loads of quotes from newspapers and stuff, and I do always appreciate it, Phil, mate, so thank you. But he said, it's understood that Liverpool's transfer spending is done unless something changes, from the Mirror. Now, that unless something changes bit.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was going to say big shout out to Phil. He's probably one of my biggest guys that gives me a lot of love on Twitter, relatively, which is quite small. But cheers, Phil, I love you.
We all love Phil. Phil's brilliant. Phil's been a staple of this stream.
That line at the end is the biggest cock tease I think you could ever ask for, in an article. Let's think. The journalist didn't have to write that. Yeah. So he's probably been fed some information or fed that exact line. In fact, is that line in the other articles on the Echo as well? See, this is what you do. Here's my conspiracy theories coming out. So basically, you'll see some certain sections of articles from the specific journalists, a lot of them that we talked about, and a lot of it will actually, well, not a lot of it, but a couple of sentences or key words, phrases will be exactly the same. And you can tell that they've obviously been fed that by someone at the club or a source or like an intermediary or someone. So they're all being fed the same line. That is clearly a kind of a plea or a signal to Leon and that jumped up Frenchman Outlas to stop messing about, stop flapping about. We're not gonna come back in for him unless unless we can make a deal here, unless we compromise. So that's what that is, and it doesn't make sense with the way we haven't replaced Coutinho. Now Oxlade-Chamberlain is definitely out for a long time. To me, that signals that we need a player, even an attacking midfielder, even more. I think I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying, like, calling it out as well, saying, yeah, I don't believe that. So I feel like the general consensus is, yeah, I still think we're getting Fekir. Like, that deal was so far down the line, and we so clearly wanted him, and he wanted us, and Klopp clearly wanted him, that to then just switch off and say, nah, we're not going to do any more business, it just seems a bit weird to me. So yeah, I'd sit tight on that one.
Connor, Far Isle has made a couple of good points here. So the first point that he makes is, it seems odd that Klopp would announce that they've known about the severity of Oxlade-Chamberlain's injury, and then the club would tip off Joyce that we're not doing any further business. So he says, A, looks like we need to, and B, it would embolden Aulas to ask for more money. So exactly as he says there, it isn't a coincidence that these stories are coming out on the day that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's severity of his knee injury comes out, because as he said, we had this with the goalkeeper as well. They played a similar card when they said that Ward could be our number one. They're not going to come out and say, yeah, we're absolutely fucked for an attacking mid.
Yeah, that's it. It's all this mind games and what way didn't describe it. Just trying to get Leon back to the negotiating table, I suppose. Like, if they think we're not going to be in for him anymore, then they'll start to panic and probably start offering him to us. Like, they know he wants us, like, so they're going to have to come back, because otherwise they're going to have like Fekir there not wanting to play for them, and that's not going to be good for them. So yeah, I wouldn't believe that the spreading is done. I'd say it's just all tactics, just to get Aulas, get the finger out and get back to the negotiating table.
Connor, there's something really obvious that we're all missing here. So we want to go to Leon to get Nabil Fekir, but obviously we haven't talked about the possibility of using Gini Wijnaldum as a make-weight in this deal, because obviously Gini Wijnaldum was off to Leon according to Mundo Sporto.
Yeah, there was strong links there that Leon wanted Wijnaldum, and look, if they really want him, if that's going to be the deal breaker, then we probably could go with it.
Did you see that yesterday, Tom, by the way?
Yeah, I saw it. It was on some pretty big websites as well. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't like Gini to go, particularly now that Ox is out. And I think people forget how much we actually rotated, like, throughout the whole season. So I know the squad seems really inflated at the moment, but I think that's a mix of, we had quite a thin squad last season. So, it's always good to have more depth. And like I said, Klopp likes to rotate. So those players will get games. I mean, we're clearly going in on all fronts next season to win trophies and silverware. So, yeah, they'll get game time. So I'll be a bit gutted if Gini went. But as Con said, if the club feel like that'll push on the Fekir deal, then so be it.
Evan Guest wants to know, Connor, that he thinks Fekir will need a holiday just like Alisson's had. Do you think 2 weeks from now we might be hearing something about a deal?
It's a good point, actually. Yeah, we might be holding off, just wait for him to have a break away from it all. Like, you'd have to question the mental state of him at the moment, not knowing what's happening. Like, obviously with that video of him smiling in the airport when someone shouted Liverpool, maybe he knows more than we do. Maybe there's something already in place. But yeah, I'd say give it to the end of the week at least. I'd say we'll start to hear something. We'll start to get an indication of whether we are really going back in or not. I'd say we are, though. I can't see it's not going back to that.
Tony Kelly says, when are we playing Blackburn Rovers? It's tomorrow night. Yeah. Did you see, Tom, that the pre-season champions were held 1-1 by Bury tonight?
Were they? Were they actually?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, after their 22-0 victory over the I don't know who the fuck, a crowd of fucking carpenters or something.
That was so stupid, wasn't it? Like, what kind of was there actually any point in that game? Like, I don't really get why they did that. I feel like they were just kind of out there and they thought, fuck it, let's just get a game. And they went down to the local town, to the local carpentry centre and thought, yeah, fuck it, we'll just play you lot. And then it was basically, what, like bibs and no bibs, or like shirts and no shirts or something like that? It was like fucking school.
It was like footballers and no footballers, is what it looked like.
It's just like, why? Like, that doesn't improve your fitness. Like, they were literally just walking it in. I don't get it.
Did you see the own goal that they scored?
No, the one I did see was where I think it might have been like 18-0, and the keeper just turned his back. Like, I think it was Morales or someone was just walking up to him, and the keeper just, like, he didn't even move, he just stood there.
Yeah, it looked like he was going over to have a smoke or something and lean against the post.
Yeah, probably was.
They scored. Did you see the own goal, Connor? They scored it from about 40 yards out.
The own goal? No,
yeah, straight over the keeper's head, like, from about 40 yards out. Absolutely ridiculous.
What was the point in that, like?
I've seen a few of them friendlies. Like, I do look through live score every evening. I've seen a few of them, particularly around the Italian teams. Actually, there was a couple of 15-0, 17-0. I mean, as Tom said, what is the point? Go to Bury and draw 0-0 and have a real pre-season friendly.
I think, like, it's just like, there's no advantage just going out there and win 20 with it, because if you're dominating that much, you're not even going to get a good physical battle. You're not even going to push yourself at all. That's the whole point of pre-season, just get fit, like, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. Do you know what, Tom? I have a little hunch. I have a hunch that we're going to see Naby Keita break somebody up in America.
You reckon? Who do you think he's eyeing up?
I don't know. I reckon they're going to let him off the leash in America.
Keita versus Fred, like the huge Twitter battle that is Keita versus Fred. That would be pretty good, to be fair. He would crunch Fred as well. He would absolutely crunch him.
I reckon he'd crunch Fellaini and everything.
Yeah, he might bite his kneecaps, but crunching might be a bit of a stretch.
He's Keita.
Yeah, we need Keita to get all that aggressiveness out of him before the season starts, so we get the red cards out of the way.
I do like a horrible bastard. I've said this time and time again. I love a horrible bastard in midfield.
Yeah, we kind of needed it for a while now.
We do.
He's a horrible bastard that's got like actual skill, though. That's the thing.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
Not just Fellaini. Fellaini with skill.
I'm fucking sure Fellaini pairs his elbows. By the way, I'm absolutely sure he sharpens them before games.
He probably does. He would be that guy.
Guys, how would you feel if this was our business done? So, Connor, I'll come to you first on this one. When I say business done, I mean incoming wise, and we possibly move a couple of guys out. But how would you feel if this really was it? The signings that we've brought in is the end of our window, and it closed right now.
I'd be happy with who we brought in, but I'd be disappointed that we didn't get a number 10, specifically Fekir. I think, like, the players we have brought in really do improve the team, and like we're solving a lot of problems we've had. Like, even Fabinho, we haven't had a proper defensive mid like him since Mascherano probably, and with Alisson, like we said a few times, he's just going to hopefully sort out that position for 9 or 10 years at least. So I'm happy that way, but I think we should be looking at number 10 still.
And for yourself, Tom?
Yeah, quite similar. Like Con said, I mean, it's been fantastic getting in Fabinho. Keita is kind of like, we technically signed him last season, but, you know, he's a new player coming in, so obviously I'll count that. That's really good. Alisson, of course. Shaqiri, I think, again, he's gone a bit under the radar with all of the hype that we've got around with the other players, but he could be a really important player for us this season. He could be a really, really good option. He's a very talented player, and he could quite easily step up a level, I think. He's had that potential, you know. There's a reason why Bayern Munich bought him when he was younger, and I think he does have quite a lot of potential. So yeah, that's another really good piece of business for 13 million. But like Con said, it would just feel like that one piece missing, really. If we don't get a number 10 or an attacking midfielder, because we sorted out everything. If Alisson goes through, which it looks like it should do, we would have sorted everything other than that position. So it would leave a bit of a sour taste. But then, I don't know, like, we could cope, I reckon. And it's not like me to say that. It's not like me to settle for something like that. But I think if we list off our midfield, we got Henderson, Fabinho, Keita. That will probably could be our starting three. And then you've got Wijnaldum, Milner, Chamberlain's out for the whole season. Who else have we got in there? Am I missing anyone?
Do we say Jimmy Milner?
Lallana. Yeah, I said Milner. I didn't say Lallana. So we got Lallana back now, and I know he's pretty injury prone as well. So it's not like we don't have any cover there whatsoever. So he wouldn't be. I'd much rather get a keeper than a cam right now, and I think most people would agree with me. But it would just seem a waste. Like, why spend 75 million on Van Dijk? Why spend 70 million on Alisson and then not go out and just complete the squad? I don't get it. So yeah, I'd be a bit disappointed.
Couple of
Genie
points.
LFC raised a good point actually. Like, could Shaqiri play number 10 if needed? I think.
It depends what system we play. Like, if we play a 4-2-3-1 and he is right up there, then maybe. But in my opinion, no. I really don't see Shaqiri as Could you really see him in a midfield three? I can no way. He's definitely a winger to me.
Couple of points as well from the chat. People want to know. Jeannie asked the same question as, would I be happy if that was the end of the window? Yeah, I'd be okay about it. I'd like the guys. I'd like Fekir in, but the goalkeeper was the be all and end all of this window for me. So just as I said, a couple of points in the chat. Twin Z says, do you think Milner will get the amount of game time he got last season in central midfield? And for me, buddy, I'm going to say no, he wouldn't. But I'd like to know what the two guys think. So Connor, for you, do you think Millie will get anywhere near as much game time as he got last year in central mid?
Probably not, but I'd say he will get an awful lot still. Like, even last year we didn't think he'd get that much, and he was basically our best midfielder for most of the season, to be fair to him. And like, even seeing the Champions League, his experience has really paid off, and he's the top assister in history now. Like, so you definitely can't write him off. I'd say we'll see him in there more than we think.
And Tom, how about you? You think we'll see Jimmy Milner getting maybe 50% of the games this season?
Yeah, I mean, he won't get anywhere near as much as last year, I think, simply because of the players that we brought in. So, if we do bring in Fekir, we'll have brought in a whole new midfield. That sadly puts him further down the pecking order. However, as I have said, there will be rotation. Klopp clearly likes Milner. He's clearly still training well and fit and ready for the season. And yeah, I mean, he was our best midfielder probably, towards the end of last season. So, if we get an injury, God forbid, touch wood, to, let's say, Keita or someone, Milner could quite easily step in there, I reckon. So yeah, not nowhere near as much as last year, but I think, like Con said, he could still play quite a big role.
I think we're on around 140 likes at this point, by the way, guys, which is pretty good for this point in the stream. So thanks for everyone that's hit the thumbs up. It means a lot. Kieran Aaron says that he would prefer Julian Brandt to Nabil Fekir, Connor. Personally, I'd prefer Fekir because Brandt has a face that I just want to punch, but I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that one, Connor.
They're not really comparable, though, are they? Like, Brandt's more of a winger than a 10 like Fekir is. And I think we've said an awful lot on this. Like, Dave obviously has the contacts in Germany, and he looks nailed on to join Bayern at some point. So I don't think we stand much chance of getting him, to be honest. And like, even the style of play, I'd say Fekir would much better suit what we need. Like, that kind of Coutinho type player, I suppose.
Yeah, for me, Tom, just as Connor has said there, they're slightly different styles of footballers, and what we lack at the moment is that guile, that bit of creativity, and Brandt is a bit more direct than Fekir. Fekir, I won't say is almost like Coutinho, but he's able to do what Coutinho can do with regards to getting past a low block or playing those delicate little balls.
So what do you think? Brandt is more direct than Fekir in what way? Like, kind of dribbling, like
in the way he'd run at players. Like, I think he's more direct in the style of play that he'd have. He'd be more of a winger that would try and isolate a fullback and get the ball in. Where I think Fekir is more a type of person who'll try and play between the lines, maybe slip one over the top to the back post. That kind of player.
Yeah, I can see that. I think I'd still rather Fekir. I think because he can make something out of nothing, and against like Coutinho, against low block teams, it's always good to have someone that can just smash in, something that, when we're really struggling. And I think he does love a long shot. We saw it in the World Cup when he comes on for France. He has at least like 2 or 3 shots from outside the box, and they're pretty damn close as well. So I think he's much more suited to kind of how we play, and I think that player is the missing piece of that kind of squad.
I do love a player, guys, who can drop in and play between the lines. Like watching David Silva play, as an example, or Coutinho when he was at Liverpool. You can see them, Tom. You can see the brain working in the game. Sometimes they're coming deeper. Sometimes they're playing in that line between the defence and the midfield. And then at times when they need to get the ball, they're coming deeper again, and they're almost picking up the ball in the central defensive midfield role. So I have a big soft spot for those type of footballers.
Yeah, I agree, and I think David Silva was actually is probably the perfect player to bring up. Kind of thinking about that type of player because, like you said, he could quite easily come deep and spray a long pass, but then in that Pep team, in that Guardiola team, he does make those really really good runs into the box, and he pops up with a lot of really neat goals, and big goals for them. And yeah, I rate him really really highly. And yeah, you're right. You can just see the brain ticking along, and you can see what he's thinking and like where is he going to pick the pass. And then he might do something completely unexpected that you wouldn't even see. And then, or you might make a really darting run. And he's not even the quickest player. It's just his positioning and his, and his attacking awareness that kind of makes him stand out, makes him the player he is. So yeah, that's a really good example.
Something that pissed me off actually about Harry Kane during the World Cup is that he was doing that far too much. He thought that everything had to go through him, and rather than being in the centre forward position, he was dropping deep to pick up the ball, and there was nobody up there.
Yeah, I feel like him and Sterling were taking it in turns to drop deep. But the difference is, I feel like Sterling was better going in behind than Kane. Obviously, he's got a bit more of that pace. Kane does have the better passing range. But yeah, I did feel the same. But that was a tactical thing. I'm not sure that was Kane. I think that was Gareth Guardiola, as I call him. Yeah, it was Sterling. They were taking it in turns to come deep and get the ball. But I think if he stays up nearer the box, I think that's where he's much more effective. Even though his passing is very good.
Connor, I think we've confused Maverick, so we need to clear this up. He says, "What? Use Genie as a make weight? Are you kidding us? That's nuts."
No, it was a fake rumour we put out, and it actually spread that Leon were interested in Wijnaldum. It's utter bollocks, but people actually ran with it.
Yeah, so don't worry.
By no means, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, don't worry.
Ruin the dream, Con. Don't ruin it.
Yeah, I suppose we just think everybody in here knows what's going on with all these bullshit rumours that Mundo Sport are putting out, so we probably should clear it up from time to time. But look, we're not saying Genie's gone to Leon. Don't worry about that. Well, we are saying it, but we're not saying it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And just play along with it on Twitter. Don't point it out, because the more people we fool with it, the funnier it is.
The Raptor says we're at 141 likes and 4 dislikes, and he says, "Show yourselves."
He really
definitely United. They're definitely United fans, 100%. So jealous.
Absolutely, and do you know what? They should be. They absolutely should be, because the season is going to be ours this year. Do you know what, Tom? I'm going to fucking say it. It's our year, buddy.
No.
It's our year.
No. No.
I'm saying it. It's our year.
Great. Oh, to be fair, I was thinking about that earlier. Like, actually, this could be. But no, I'm not going to finish that sentence. I can't do it. I actually can't do it.
Ferno says.
I said something to you a while ago, Craig.
Go on.
Remember what I said? Do you remember what I said? No.
No.
Raptors going to win the league. We're going to walk the fucking league this year.
There you go. This is from the man who said to me last year that Liverpool were going to win the home and away legs against Manchester City, and was proven correct.
Telling you, kind of the guru here.
Nice. That's a big shout, Con. I didn't know that. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, I'm never wrong, must say. Like Paul the Octopus on steroids.
Ferno says, who remembers that indicator picture of him flying in the air and holding up something saying, "Tell the fucking pilot to answer the call," when Van Dijk was taking the picture on the plane?
Yeah. That's vintage indie. That's classic.
Tom, I think Lubac is having a dig at you here. He says, "I don't like Julian Brandt at all, as he looks like a posh kid."
A German posh kid, so that's even worse. Nah, I'm joking. No, that's not even worse at all. I don't know why I said that. No, actually, he's not that bad, is he? I guess I see what he means.
He does have an annoying head, though.
He's really baby faced, isn't he? Yeah,
he is a bit. Yeah.
What else have we got? Let me just go. I want to get through some of the chat questions because we're so far behind. So Phil is saying now that rumours of more spending after Alisson is gathering pace. Well, Jesus, Tom, this has been a quick turnaround, hasn't it? An hour ago we were fucked. That was the end of it.
Well, there we go. This is what I mean. Like, all the journalists and people are getting fed different stuff, and we saw that with the Fekir deal. Like, everyone had a different story. Liverpool are obviously going to say that they pulled out of the deal. Leon are obviously going to say that they pulled out of the deal. So it's just like this massive power complex. So you just got to sit tight. But the fact is, Fekir picked a squad number. He'd obviously agreed terms with us, and he did an interview for his signing. Yeah. So, you know, like, Klopp won't let a player down like that, I don't think, in my opinion.
It is mad, guys, the lack of business that other clubs are doing, isn't it? I mean, obviously Arsenal have brought a few players in, nobody to write home about. Manchester City have spent, was it 60 million quid or something on Mahrez? And am I missing anything after that? Jorginho with Chelsea, obviously, but after that, I don't think there's been much big business done by Premier League clubs, outside of us, of course.
Man United signed Lee Grant.
Who the fuck is Lee Grant?
He's Stoke's third choice keeper. And they signed him. I think it's basically like where we signed Manning, or whatever his name was.
I thought we signed Manninger on some type of community project or help the elderly or something like that.
I think it was a make-a-wish, I think. He just wanted to do it before he ended his career.
How old was he? Wasn't he like 38 or
39 or something, yeah.
Oh my god.
Ridiculous. I think he was more a coach, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think Brian's a mentor kind of player.
That wasn't very successful, was it?
Well, that's the fucking dream team right there if you're coming in, isn't it? Fucking John Achterberg and Alex Manninger to coach you.
Oh, he'd just be turning around and leaving again.
Tom, what do you think of the lack of business done by other clubs? Do you think it's going to ramp up over the last couple of weeks, or do you think people are just being cautious?
I think it has to. I think it has to ramp up. Like, what have Spurs done? Have they signed a single player?
What have Spurs ever done?
Oh, they're in talks to sign Jack Grealish. I did read that on Sky earlier on, apparently. I mean, if that's it, like, fucking Jack Grealish.
Like, look, fair play. He might prove me wrong, but what the fuck is that? Like, honestly, Tottenham. Like, even I'm disappointed for you. Like, Jack Grealish. Mad.
Even Leicester made a better signing when they signed that young guy from Norwich.
Yeah, Maddison's a decent player, isn't he? They must be doing some more business themselves. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, there has been a real lack of transfers. Obviously, the World Cup's put that into put everything on hold. But the season the transfer window ends in like a couple of weeks. Like, it has to ramp up. I can't see it not happening. Particularly with all the money in the Premier League now. You know, these teams do have some money. So yeah, there will definitely be some movement. I find it funny how Chelsea are looking like they're going to be losing Hazard and Courtois in the space of a couple of weeks, both to Real Madrid. So now they know how it feels, the bastards.
There was something, Tom, that came out from Sarri in his press conference, and you know what, it stunk to me. He said that, I don't like the transfer window, I'm fed up of it, I just want to concentrate on coaching the players that are already here and getting the best out of them. And I was thinking, oh, that's a manager that's been told he's got fuck all money to spend.
Well, that's the thing, and he's completely changing their system as well. So the likes of Marcus Alonso, who's like a left wing back, like, what's he gonna do? And what left? I know they got Emerson in. Is he that good? Like, he didn't seem very favoured. I feel like that team needs a lot of work. Jorginho is a good signing, but yeah, that team might, Hazard and Courtois going. Still Cahill was linked with Man United as well. That'd be the most Man United signing ever. Fucking Gary Cahill going to Man United at like 32. But yeah, I feel like they need a lot of work done, and it's not really happening.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, people are pointing out, Connor, that West Ham have done some good business in this window. I'd kind of caveat good business with a lot of business. I don't know how much of it is good business.
Yeah, they brought in a good few players, to be fair, and like, they brought in a good few players and a few good players, I suppose is the best way of putting it.
And Jack Wilshere.
And Jack Wilshere, of course, yeah. Jack Wilshere. It'd be interesting to see how they actually got on. I think they could have a very similar season to Everton, as in like it'll take a while for all their
Relegated.
not that far, but I think it'll take time for all their new signings to settle in. Like we've seen with Everton when they signed like 7 or 8 players last season, and they started off awfully. And I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham did something similar this season, but then picked up towards the end. But if they can get it right, then they should be challenging for top 7 or 8. They have a very good team there, big stadium, shite fans still, but like it'd be interesting to see. Like Felipe Anderson, 42 million. I think they got their pants pulled down a bit there with the fee, but that's a big sign. Like it's a statement of intent really from like they want to be a big club.
There's a lot of rampant rabbits have to be sold there to pay for that transfer.
Yeah,
he was linked with United like a year or two ago, wasn't he? So I think he is a decent player. I haven't seen that much of him. The only thing I thought when I saw that fee, and I know we're spending shit tons of money, but the first things I thought was we got Salah and Mane for less than that. And I know it's an inflated market. It's just the first thing I thought when I saw that. It's just insane. And Jack Wilshere is basically the new Mark Noble.
Good show.
He is the new Mark Noble. He's the most West Ham player, that they could have bought. But I do think Yarmolenko, I think he's one to watch out for. I think he's a very good player. I think how much did they get him for? Like 20 million.
See, I'd wonder why Dortmund let him go. Because Dortmund aren't really one for selling players that they want to keep.
He only played like 15 games or something last season, I heard. I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean, and yeah, I'd 100% caveat that. But I just feel like I've seen him a few times, and I think he is quite a pretty good player. Like he is very good on the ball. He's quite direct as well. So yeah, I'd watch out for him this season.
Connor, another thing I want to ask is, we've said Spurs have done fuck all so far, and we've talked about them being linked to Jack Grealish. Do you think that the new stadium that they're building is genuinely going to have a big impact on the transfer budget and what Pochettino's going to have to work with for the next couple of seasons?
You'd have to think so anyway. Like it's a massive project there, and it's going to take up a lot of the club's resources. Like, so you'd have to imagine it will impact transfers, and they will have to sell, I'd imagine. But you know, they're just not going to. They're not going to want to sell, obviously, because they want to progress. But if they can't bring in players, it might be forced to. Maybe we'll see Kane move on finally. It'll all show up about him then.
Tom, I know you have to head off, buddy. So just to cut across Connor, just to say goodnight to Tom, and thank you so much, buddy, for jumping straight on after work. I do appreciate it.
No problem. It's been really, really good. I know I've chatted quite a lot, and sometimes I ramble on, but yeah, it's been really good. And cheers to everyone in the chat. And good night. Have a good evening. So
once again, if you want to give Tom a follow on Twitter, it's at Liverpool Truly, and he is worth a follow. Don't mind what he says about being a retweet merchant. Tom runs a great account, and you've seen him in the chat tonight. Tom's a great lad, so do go on there, give him a follow. And once again, Tom, thank you so much, buddy, and I will talk to you soon.
No problem, guys. Cheers. See you later.
Connor, it's just back to the two of us, buddy. Back to the big two.
Yeah. Back to us. We come up with a name for the two of us, don't we?
We really do, don't we? Something to do with paddies or something. I think we should take the piss out of ourselves.
Yeah, you probably think something a bit better than the paddies.
Owen Farrelly is saying fuck Jack Grealish. He refused to play for Ireland, the prick, and that's pretty much how I feel about him as well.
He's fucking shite as well, isn't he? Like, I've seen nothing of him to suggest he's any good. He's just awful.
I'm loving how this full license has affected you, buddy. You're all aggro tonight. I'm loving it.
Yeah, getting some anger off my chest there, I think. Because the stress of this morning and this relief now, just get it all out.
Good man. I love it. I'm liking it. It's a good look on you.
Yeah, maybe I'll try it more often.
Skipper Dog reckons that Chelsea need a forward or they'll finish outside of the top 4 again. What do you think of that?
I think they'll finish outside the top 4 anyway, to be honest. I think they're looking at Higuain, aren't they?
Yeah, apparently so. And look,
like if they lose Hazard, like Higuain isn't exactly a replacement for him.
No, and I said they were talking about Suso as well as a replacement from at one point.
That's such a downgrade, isn't it? I think something else. Well, I have no idea how reliable this is, but there was talk of like a Willian and Martial swap deal.
That would be massively beneficial for Chelsea, I'd say, if they did that.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, it's United wanting it to happen.
That's absolutely
That's
believable.
Mourinho summed up, right, isn't it? Just get rid of the hotshot youngster who could be good. Just take in like a player he knows is going to be good for a few seasons.
Exactly, that's exactly it. Short term, just bring him in now and fuck the youngster that might be worth 100 million in a couple of years.
Yeah, like Martial's going to be way better than Willian, like no doubt.
If I was Manchester United's board and the manager came to me with that, I would slap him across the face and tell him to go fuck himself.
They should be doing that anyway.
Absolutely ridiculous. Look, I do want to take a chance again, guys. We're almost 2 hours into this stream to say thank you very much to everyone for joining in. We are by no means done. We're going to be going for about another 30-40 minutes. But look, if you haven't given us a thumbs up yet, but you are enjoying the stream, please take a moment to do so. If you haven't subscribed to the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel, why not do it? Now is the perfect time. You will get all our content 100% free. Live streams, podcasts, videos, watch-alongs. There's so much to come. And also for those of you who've asked us, and it has been a couple of people who've asked us again tonight, if you do want to support the channel financially, you can do so at patreon.com/Anfield Agenda. And of course you can go on to PayPal. You can stick in our email address, which is anfieldagenda@outlook.com. Or of course you can go paypal.me/Talk of the Terrace. And Connor, we've had some really amazing people over the last week supporters, particularly on Patreon, which is new to me. You know me, I'm a tech dope. So when you said to me Patreon before, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What's this?
Yeah, there's been a few people there on it, like, and they're all very kind to give us money. Like, it's mad when you think about it. People actually enjoy us that much that they're willing to contribute. I see Lambeg Loyalist is talking about super chats there. Unfortunately, we were denied YouTube monetization, which is why we have set Patreon, so we can't actually use super chats yet. But hopefully we will in a month or two time, and we'll have that set up.
We should probably explain this, because a few people do know the situation that we faced during last week. So as Connor said, we did apply for monetization, which is what most YouTube channels do. And what that means is you can take in ad revenue for ads that pop up during your streams and videos. You can get super chats like Lambeg Loyalist said there. And there's a couple of other little bits and pieces, Connor, that you can do to kind of bring in a steady stream of income. Now, it's nothing to write home about, but it's certainly enough that can keep a channel ticking over.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a bit of a repayment for all the hours behind. We're not doing this for money, obviously, but it is nice to get a bit back, and like even just the running costs of keeping the podcast up, the hosting, getting the website up, just need to keep us ticking over, really. Yeah,
so as we said, we were denied that by YouTube, and we've no idea why, because we've had previous channels before that had no issue with it. So the struggle that we had was we either looked at packing it up, which we didn't want to do, or we had a team meeting with the guys in the Anfield Agenda, and because of you guys as well, because we did get a lot of people saying to us, Connor, just go and set up PayPal, go and set up a Patreon, we'd love to support the channel. And it's not something we ever wanted to do, because we always wanted this to be self-funding, and we do hope it does that in a couple of months' time when we can hopefully get this decision reversed. But until then, we were kind of left kind of with no choice but to set up the Patreon, see if people will come and help us keep the channel going, and if they didn't, we can understand it, because money's not easy to come by for people.
That's it. Like, there's absolutely no expectation on anyone to be donating money or anything. Just if you can and you want to help us out, then by all means. But like, we're not going to be begging you for money or anything. It's all voluntary. Like, we're never going to go behind a paywall or anything. Everything's going to be completely free.
Absolutely. Everything will always be 100% free. This is a commitment that we made when we started Anfield Agenda. Myself and Connor and Hughesy at the time, we got together, we had a chat, and we said, you know what? All our content should always be 100% free. We truly believe that content like this should be free, because we're all just fans talking about fans. We don't consider ourselves professionals. We don't consider ourselves better than anybody else. But it does, unfortunately, cost a little bit of money to keep these things ticking over. And we're not even talking, Connor, about our time, because we're more than happy. I'm particularly more than happy to give up my time for free to do all this. No problem whatsoever. But there are some associated running costs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a hobby. Like, it's just a bit of fun, a bit of crack. And we get to meet loads of people through it, and like, like since I've started, I've met a lot of people I consider good friends now, but yeah, like you said, it's just keeping the running costs, not to be costing us money to do it, pretty much.
So look, this is the last time we'll mention it on the stream because we hate to bring it up. It's cringy and it really makes me feel dirty talking about it. But as we have said, if you do want to help the channel, you do want to subscribe, if you want to do so on a monthly basis, then the easiest way is to go to patreon.com /Anfield Agenda. You can do it there. If you were thinking about doing it on a once-off, you just wanted to buy maybe Connor a cup of coffee or a pint, then you can do so on PayPal. AnfieldAgenda@outlook.com is our email address. And look, we'll leave it there. Maybe Connor, you can throw the links into the chat as well. And as we said, we hate talking about this. We won't mention it again on this stream. But for the thumbs up and the subscriptions, you're going to get me hounding you about that all the time, because it helps us grow the channel. It helps us get suggested to other users, to other Reds, and it helps us grow the Anfield Agenda family. And night after night, we're blown away by the reaction that we get on here and the people that keep coming back, Connor. And you know what? It really makes me smile.
Yeah, it's great to see everyone enjoying it, and like even the people in the chat just chatting away to each other, just making friends as well. I suppose it's like we've built up a little community here, really.
People are already counting down to the alarm tonight.
It's mad how that's actually become a thing, isn't it?
It is. My wife absolutely loves that she's involved in some way, shape or form in this, I have to say. She often asks me about the alarm.
Should get her on some night.
No, there's no way she'd come on. Absolutely not. She'd be far too shy to come on. But yeah, she still won't tell me where the watch is, though. I mean, as much as she does love that we're doing this, and as much as she does love that the alarm has become a thing, she's categorically told me that there's no way she's telling me where that watch is.
Does she actually know where it is?
I don't know if she does or not, or if she's just blagging me. It's a good point, Connor. I don't genuinely know. I mean, if I said to her, look, there's 50 quid, get me the watch, I wonder if she'd find it.
I'm sure she would.
Tony Kelly says, once I put money on my card, I'll donate to your PayPal, lads. Thank you, Tony. Very kind of you, buddy. But look, you've just been here and commenting on the channel and watching the videos, and you know, interacting with us is absolutely brilliant as well. So thank you on that, from that sense as well. What else have we got? I want to get back to the chat. Oh, Connor.
I was thinking something interesting actually. Did you know that Paul Joyce is an Everton fan?
No, I didn't know that.
Apparently he is. Our king is an Everton fan, apparently.
You know what though? That just shows you how good he is as a journo, because he's very unbiased.
He must absolutely hate us, giving us all the good news. Like,
that's actually made me respect the man even more.
Maybe it's only a rumour. I don't know. I've just seen a few people say it here.
Paul Turner says, we'll help you guys out soon. Just need to sort out a few outstanding bills. And buddy, I get you. I mean, Jesus Christ, I get you. There are times in life when it seems like you're trying to get a little bit ahead. One bill comes in the door and then something else happens. I mean, what happens to me, Connor, is, and I swear to God this is true, every year we go on holidays and we save our asses off to go on a holiday. But as soon as we come back from a holiday, and you know yourself, you usually overspend on a holiday or you stretch yourself a little bit and there's credit card bills and stuff like that. Every fucking year when we come back, some appliance in the house breaks down.
It's always some cost to come back to, I suppose, yeah.
It's absolutely mental. The cooker went last year. The year before that, the washing machine went. It's like someone's punishing me for going on a holiday. It's hilarious.
They just don't want you to have a good time.
They're not stopping me. I'm taking over Orlando in October. Nobody's stopping me. Louis says, wait, Paul Joyce is an Everton fan? You're shattering hearts here, Connor.
Well, that's what I've heard, innit? Maybe it's love shy, so that's what people are saying.
I heard that James Pearce is a stripper in his spare time.
I have heard that actually, yeah. I can actually confirm that.
Yeah, we have hired him for parties.
Yeah. He did it for free though, because he's that nice a guy.
Those hips don't lie, Connor.
Certainly don't. You can see that tweet earlier with him.
Which one?
He tweeted something about Alisson and someone just said, come on my face, and they're like, I'm a bit busy, mate.
Yeah, and then another journal friend of his or something said, it's amazing how journalists can come so far where they don't care about their public or something like that.
Yeah, he said, I've changed.
Yeah, I do love stuff like that. It's great to see the guys have a sense of humour, because I imagine their job can be pretty stressful at times, and when they put out news that people don't want to hear but that it is true, I imagine they get an awful lot of abuse as well.
Sure they do, yeah. I'd love to meet him someday.
I've actually had the pleasure, which is I told you before, last year at the the Liverpool Bilbao game, I had the pleasure of meeting James Pearce and having a chat with him. And you know what? He was an absolute gentleman.
Yeah, hopefully if we get to go to the Napoli game, he might be there.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And you know what? I'm making you the same way I did with Jono last year. Jono, like yourself, was a very, I won't say a fan of James Pearce because that probably isn't the right word, but he respected James Pearce very much. And you know yourself, Jono, maybe a little bit shy at times. But I was just saying, fuck this, we're going up to say hello to him. So I made sure, you know me, Connor, I'll talk to anybody. So I made my way over to him, introduced myself, because I had him on a podcast actually before that, so I did have an in there. But he was an absolute gentleman. Say again?
Bring him onto the stream someday. That'd be brilliant.
That would be brilliant as well. Absolutely. Connor wouldn't be able to speak. He'd be here. Oh, hi James. Love you, James.
I can barely speak as it is, I.
Can you be my daddy? But no, do you know what? He stood there for 10 or 15 minutes. He talked about the Reds with us. He was an absolute gent, and it was a privilege to get to meet the guy, and he is as down to earth as you'd expect.
It's good to hear. It's like, you know, the whole thing of never meet your heroes. Now it can be rest assured that if I do, then it's all good.
Owen Farrell is saying that Red Men TV are in Murray's Bar in Dublin the weekend of the Napoli game. So as we've said before, we love all the guys to put out Liverpool content, so why not head down there to Murray's Bar, catch the Red Men TV. I think the Anfield Rap are doing something in the Button Factory, if memory serves me correct, around that game as well. And you know what, hopefully this time next year, Connor, Anfield Agenda will be at the point where we can start doing things like this as well.
I'd love that. That'd be so good.
It would be absolutely amazing. I mean, that's my dream, to be doing live shows in pubs and stuff, because I love coming on here and chatting. But the thoughts of getting into a pub full of rowdy Reds and releasing my bald ass attitude onto a room full of people in and around like a live watch along, I'd absolutely, with a halftime chat, post game kind of interaction with the audience, and maybe a bit of live music and stuff. Obviously not from me, but from a band or something. I mean, we were close to doing something, Connor, for the Champions League final, if we're honest.
Yeah, we wanted to do something, but it never really came together.
Yeah, we don't have egos enough to think that we could actually do anything like that. I think that's it.
Yeah, we book out some pub and all and make plans. We show up with about 3 people there.
Yeah, that would be our fear, like that we would, even though we've 26,000 followers on Twitter and stuff like that, and we've, you know, some subscribers on here that enjoy what we do, we always worried that if we ever did do anything like that, and look, we wouldn't be looking to charge or anything, it wouldn't be anything along those lines, it would just be to get to interact and meet more Reds, but you never know, someday we'll do it, Connor.
Someday, yeah, that's the dream.
What else have we got here in the chat? Sarah said that she sent us £5 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Sarah. Very kind of you, and it really means a lot to us. And so do you being in the chat every night as well. I mean, we've said this to people before. It's great, and we do appreciate it, but we also appreciate the time and effort you guys put in to watch the channel every night. It feels weird, actually. Do you know? It feels weird saying the word channel, Connor. I'm so used to saying the word podcast or show. But to actually think of it as a channel, it is weird when think about it in that context.
Never thought of it that way, actually. Yeah, was it strange? Like big difference for you anyway coming over here.
Oh man, it's a massive difference. I mean, as you guys know, I'm from a podcast background where we can hide behind a computer. We can sit there in our boxer shorts recording a podcast if we want to. It doesn't really matter what you look like or what you're wearing. But the first time I come on to do a YouTube stream, I mean, actually no, doing the pre-recorded videos is actually a lot worse than doing a stream. You feel much more nervous, but coming on here and doing these live streams, it's been a life changer for me, Connor. It really has brought me out of my shell, given me confidence, and you know, made me kind of force myself into do things I wouldn't normally do and get to know new people, which is class.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I didn't think you needed to come out of your shell. I think you were out enough already, to be honest.
See, I consider myself an introvert.
That's mad.
Like I don't like. I could go weeks without leaving my house.
Yeah, that's basically me. I never leave the house other than to do driving tests.
Yeah, not just to do with them, Connor. To fucking knock them out the ballpark.
Yeah, just like kill it there.
I heard that they're reevaluating the whole driving test now that you smashed it.
Yeah, like I was just so far above everyone else who don't have to completely rejig the standards.
So look, everybody wants to know, and I'm sure that you're just too polite to ask, but was it like the in-betweeners driving test? Did you have to, put out?
No comment. I'll just say Stefan was a very, very nice man. That's all I say.
There you go. Enough said. Enough said. And did the dog watch?
No. He was in the back.
Tony Kelly, actually, I do want to help Tony out because he's been asking earlier on about tickets and stuff, and he's a bit worried. He said he wants to get some tickets this year to go and watch the Reds, but he's really worried about fake tickets and stuff like that. And if there's anybody in the chat can maybe help Tony out or point him in the right direction, that would be great. Yeah, I hate seeing people scammed, Connor. I hate seeing people buying fake tickets, particularly when children are involved.
Exactly. Like it'd be awful to travel over and then it helps the pitch all excited waiting to go in, then you suddenly can't. So it's hard to not say because most people are genuine and you probably will get a ticket, but you just know there's some cunts out there who'll try to scam you. Like, do you know anyone reliable on Twitter?
I honestly don't. I've said before, I've never got a cost price ticket. Actually, no, I've got one from Jono. That's the only cost price ticket to see Liverpool I've ever gotten in my life. I've always had to pay over the odds. Jesus.
I'm looking for tickets for the Cardiff game in Anfield if anyone wants to send me in the right direction.
When is that?
It's weekend October, I think 28 or something like that. It's weekend after my birthday now.
Damo has caught my eye here with a post actually because it's somewhere a little bit close to my heart. So he says the Anfield Rap are playing one of the last ever gigs in Mandela Hall in Belfast before it's knocked down. And they're excited to play a venue that The Clash and the Pogues and many others have played in. I've been to Mandela Hall a couple of times for some comedy shows, and you can smell, feel, sense the history in the place. And when I heard that they were knocking it down, I was so sad, Damo, because it's an absolutely historic venue. And as you said, some of the biggest and best bands in the world have played there. And I hope to God that the petition that they've started gets some backing behind it and they don't knock it down. Do you know about Mandela Hall, Connor?
I've literally never heard of it before now.
It's the Students' Union, basically, at Queen's University in Belfast. And it's in the Students' Union building, where they have the bar and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's downstairs in it, and it's a real kind of gringy basement. You can almost feel the sweat coming down the walls and stuff of it, but it's such a brilliant place to have like shows, music venues, stuff like that, and it's seen some of the biggest bands in the world. I mean, as Damo said there, The Clash, the Pogues, many others in there as well. I'm thinking who else was somebody else massive that played a warm-up gig there before they went on the main tour. I mean, it's an absolutely huge venue. They have all the old posters on the walls in and around the venue as well, and you hate hearing things like that being knocked down because you can never bring them back. I mean, those memories can never be brought back once they're gone.
Yeah, the history's kind of gone as well, isn't it? Like, if the place kind of is like the soak in history, then it's all just gone then when it's knocked down.
So for the Anfield Rap to get to play one of the last gigs in there, I mean, I imagine the guys see it as a big privilege as well, and you know what, I'm delighted for them, and I've no doubt they'll put on a kick-ass show.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. You thinking of heading up to it yourself, or?
I can't. No, I'm not that close to the game. No, I'm not that close to the game. Unfortunately, I won't be able to. I mean, hopefully we'll be up at the game though. I mean, we're still trying to sort that one out.
Yeah, haven't heard back yet.
Tom Wilson says there's lots of good ticket groups on Facebook, only face value, and they have trusted lists. So yeah, that's a bit of help there, Tony, from Tom, and thank you, Tom. That's really kind of you, mate. What else have we got? Lambeg Loyalist wants to know where everybody is from in the chat. So look, I suppose we should start out, Connor. Obviously we're from Wexford at the minute, but I'm originally from South Dublin. Have you born and bred in Wexford, Connor?
Born and bred, yeah.
Wexford
boy, true and true.
There you go, Wexford boy, true and true. And Lambeg Loyalist is from Lisburn. Yeah, so let us know if you do want to let us know in the chat where you're from. It's always great to know. Vinny's from Sheffield. So yeah, it's brilliant. It is great to know. A little bit of Alisson Becker talk. Oh, actually, do you know what? We have to shut up soon because it's almost that time.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 minutes away now.
I don't think it's even that. I think we're half a minute away, if memory serves me correct.
My clock says 2 minutes to 12.
My computer says 2 minutes past.
After. My phone says 2 after. The computer says 2 minutes too.
Yeah, my laptop says 2 minutes after as well. Oh, there it is. Fucking cunt. whatever way you guys are hearing this, if you can pick it up, it's like a Kango hammer in my head. You hear an alarm, I hear my wife sniggering. But either way, hopefully we'll just talk through this annoying alarm and it'll finish up. I see that alarm as the Mutaz Cheed of watches. That's how I see that one. Owen Farrelly's in North Dublin. Davey 85 is in South Dublin, but he lives in the US. Wow, big move there. Evan Guest is an Aussie living in Los Angeles, so again, massive move there. Hoddy Scotty says, read in the Echo that Alisson's the last major summer signing means no Fekir, lads. That has changed as the evening's gone on, mate. We heard that earlier on, Connor, and then it started to come through other papers where it said, unless something happens.
Yeah, it's basically saying it's not over. It's just not.
I think basically, and I have to come up with a name for this guy, because I don't know if I'm going to call him Scotty or Hoddy or what I'm going to call him, but we'll go with Scotty. So Scotty, yeah, look, I think this is just us kind of saying to Leon, kind of putting the vibes out there that we're not going to be held to ransom, and we're perfectly fine finishing this window with the business that we've done, and that Fekir isn't the be all and end all. That's how I read it anyway, Connor.
Yeah, I think you're pretty spot on there. I think it's just tactics, like just using the journalists to their advantage to put out his public stance, and then Oulas flip his shit and come back to the negotiating table.
Sean says, quality Craig's reaction to that alarm.
I can't see it. I'm assuming you look pretty annoyed, though, do you?
It's do you know what? It's not even put on. It genuinely pisses me off. But
you're very sensitive to sound, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I've part of my Asperger's is I have massive sensitivity around sound, and I have things like that really annoy me. I mean, if you're speaking and the television's on, I can't differentiate between the two noises. It just sounds like one big fucking murmuring noise in my ear. So if I'm chatting here to the guys and the alarm is going off in the background, I have massive sensory issues around noise. So yeah, that really pisses me off. But it's part of the show at this point. So sometimes I try to shut up and let it go on, but then I feel like it's dead air, so I need to talk. I think Sarah's heading off as well. Good night, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining the chat again, and thank you again for your kind donation. It does mean a lot. It will allow Connor to buy 6 cans of Dutch Gold.
Yeah, on the beer tonight, celebrating.
As you fucking should be, buddy. I hope you're mixing whatever you're drinking there with Diet Chav.
It was actually Diet Coke, but yeah.
What's that?
No Diet Chav left.
Is that some newfangled drink that's after coming out?
It's some off-brand Diet Chav.
Ah, right, I get you.
It's the Aldi version, basically.
It's fucking, it is to us like Pepsi is to Diet Chav. That's the way we'll say that one.
Pretty much, yeah.
Evan suggests I call him Scotty Too Hoddy, and it's probably a little bit too far, Evan. As much as I like Scotty and I welcome his comments, it's probably a little bit too far for me to call him Scotty Too Hoddy, but I do get the reference.
I think Scotty's probably enough.
Yeah, I think Scotty's definitely enough. Damo says, I'm considering an LFC transfer after the Anfield crowd impressed me too. I don't know what that means. Okay, anything else in the chat here before we finish up? How's the contributors on the AA? Or who was the contributors on the AA, I think he's trying to say. So there's myself and Connor, who started Anfield Agenda. Then there is Cash, Tom, Charlie, Dave. Am I missing anybody? Chris, Christian. So yeah, there's 8 or 9 of us, I think, isn't there?
Yeah, most of us start with letter C.
Yeah, that is fucked up, by the way. I mean, you've got Charlie, Craig, Chris, Connor, Christian, Cash. That's 6 of us that start with the letter C. So it's almost like we have a fetish for the letter C.
Yeah, so if anyone in the chat with starting with letter C wants to get involved, drop us a DM on Twitter.
Actually, you know what? This seems a really good time to ask you guys. We spoke before about doing watch-alongs when the season starts, so I'll be on here reacting to games in real time. But I'd love to know what you guys think of us hosting a fan phone-in after the game. So we'd love to get maybe 5-6 of you guys on one by one after the game to give us your reaction to what you're after seeing and how the team played, or who was good, who was bad. Maybe we get somebody on to do some match ratings and stuff as well. But it's something we spoke about, Connor. But I'd love to know if people are actually interested in it.
Yeah, like the same kind of thing as hosting a live show. If we've no one to actually call in, it's not going to really work. So yeah, we need yeah, if people are actually willing, think they will actually be willing to call in, then by all means comment, and like we can start to plan things.
Yeah, so do let us know if you think it's good. And Lambert Loyalist says Talk of the Terrace is dead. Yeah, it is unfortunate. We switched the name around because we just thought Anfield Agenda was a bit more obvious, Connor, for what we are. We're a Liverpool channel.
Talk of the Terrace was just a pretty shit name when you think about it, wasn't it?
Everybody used to think we were a Spurs channel.
Yeah, it was Talk Sport. It was an alright name. It was just like it didn't really represent what we're about, and it's a bit cliched, I suppose.
The Anfield Agenda thing came about in John Lennon Airport, didn't it? We were just sitting there yapping and we said, what if we changed the name? And then I think within half an hour we had fucking everything done.
Yeah, I actually have a fucking Subway wrapper with the original logo concept drawn on it still. I still have it.
Do you really?
I actually do, yeah.
That's nuts. That could be worth absolutely nothing in a few years.
Yeah. Never know. I have it somewhere. I'll dig it out later and send you a picture.
You know what? If this ever does get to the stage where we build, and I'm not even going to say we move into an office, because that's a bit too... That's not the way we'd go. I mean, I think we're more of a build an outhouse or build a wooden shed type people to record in. So
big shed in your back garden,
yeah, so if we put a shed in my back garden or something, and by shed I mean a quality building, like that's defo going in the frame on the wall.
It'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
It's really small, but deadly.
We can see the mould growing in it. We can see the mould growing in it then over time.
Yeah, I don't think it'll go mouldy. I cleared out all the crumbs out, but it's okay.
Oh, right. So there isn't a bit of like meatball marinara juice floating around on it?
No. I hope not, no.
A lot of people are going in for the ticket sale tomorrow morning. I believe, is it tomorrow the first half of the season tickets go on sale?
I have no idea. I haven't been keeping up to date with it all.
I think it is tomorrow morning, so that's going to be a stressful morning.
Yeah, like you end up paying for membership and the site doesn't work half the time. Do
you know what? I rang up last week. I mentioned earlier on I bought the new European grey kit last Thursday. I think it only came out on the Friday, so I bought that. But I was having trouble getting through the payment process, so I got to the payment page, and every time I put in my card details and hit pay, it just went back and refreshed back to the start of the process again. And I was getting absolutely no confirmation or anything that the money had been charged to my card. So I'd done this 7 or 8 times, and I just said, oh, fuck this, I'm going to ring up. So to be fair to them, I did get through pretty quickly to the customer support. But what I was told was, well, firstly I was told, well, we might be having trouble on some specific platforms. Could you possibly go on to Google Chrome? I said, yeah, no problem, I'll try Google Chrome. Same thing, didn't work. Could you get off your phone and get onto a laptop? Yep, no problem, right. Got my laptop out, off my phone, did that same thing, didn't work. So then I said, do you not think this is a bit embarrassing that you're having all these issues on a site as big as yours with somebody just trying to buy a shirt? And she said, well, 12,000 other people have got the shirt today without any problems. And I was thinking, yeah, but you just told me 5 minutes ago that there was a problem on some platforms. So look, then I ordered the shirt, as I said, and it was supposed to arrive on Tuesday. Tuesday comes and it gets moved to today. Today all day comes, doesn't happen. And I think, Connor, I'm just jinxed buying stuff off the official Liverpool site.
Yeah, you always seem to have some problem, don't you?
I always try and order shirts for the release date. So you know when the new shirt comes out, you can order it a few weeks in advance and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's supposed to arrive on the actual day then, isn't it?
Yeah, it never does for me. Absolutely never. I don't know what it is. But the thing that gets me most about all this is they could have just sent the jersey from the Dublin store.
It's a fair point, actually. Yeah, they could have had it here in a day.
I don't understand why they're sending it from a factory or a warehouse in Liverpool somewhere, when, as we all know now, there is a store, 2 stores in Dublin, is there?
Just one, I think. It's in the ILAC Centre.
So they could send it down from there. It just made no sense to me whatsoever. But yeah, that's my bitch and moaning over.
Yeah, let's see, Tony Kelly. I'll get in touch with you on Twitter, lads. If you can drop your at there, I'll give you a message later.
Is he looking to get some edits done or something, or some?
I think so, yeah.
Cool. Well, no better man than Connor. He makes all the brilliant thumbnails that we use here on the channel. And the one for tonight, by the way, Connor, is particularly brilliant.
I was kind of happy with that one, yeah.
So when I seen it, I was thinking, oh, that's some of his best ones. Do you know what one's one of my favourites? So the one where you did, we looked at the VAR screen.
Yeah, you've always said about that one.
Absolutely love that one.
My thumbnails, I don't generally get to be too creative, like. But I thought I just seen the opportunity tonight, so I go with it. Thought it looked funny as well, so I'll hopefully get a few clicks on it.
Absolutely quality. If anybody is buying tickets, by the way, and you're buying them from somebody who you're not 100% sure of, and you're going to buy them on PayPal, don't fall for the trick that people say, send them as family and friends. Don't fall for that trick, because what that does is that takes away your buyer protection. So you buy as if you're buying goods and services, and that way you're getting protection from PayPal if anything goes wrong with your transaction. If you send the money as family and friends, then PayPal take it that you're sending money to a mate or somebody, and you don't get any buyer protection on it. There is a fee. The fee is paid by the seller when it comes to sending money via a business or stuff. So don't fall for that. Always send the money the proper way through a business. Don't send it as family and friends, because you have absolutely no comeback. So that's my only suggestion to people that are looking to buy tickets. I've seen it happen.
Send it to us through family and friends.
Oh yeah, send it to us through family and friends, because you're getting nothing back from us. So we can guarantee you nothing. And no, but Connor, I've seen so many people get fucking fucked over.
It's ridiculous.
Send the money that way.
Do you know, is it Angel Cakes on Twitter? The person who puts up all the photos from like Liverpool City.
I do. Absolutely fantastic account.
Did you see she got scammed trying to sell a car, buy a car or something?
No, I didn't see.
Some stupid. She got scammed basically, like you said. They sent money on PayPal. She lost like £600 or £800 or something. Like something buying a car or something.
Oh, I mean, I absolutely. How can anybody do that? Just fucking scam people and just sleep at night. I just don't get it.
Don't get it at all. Scum.
Trueborn44 says there's a store in Dublin and a store in Belfast.
I was on Belfast, so yeah, fair enough. Haven't been up there, so.
And Joseph Reardon is saying Sports Direct have a sale on the Liverpool jersey. I know, buddy, I know. I was saying this to Connor. I paid €93.50 for the Liverpool shirt. Now, I do have to point out that I did buy the one with the European badges on it. So it has the respect and the 5 times and the Champions League crest and all. So I did pay a little bit extra for that. But I could have bought it on the Sports Direct sale for €48. Plus, no, to be fair, there would have been €7 delivery on it. So €55 I could have bought it for. But I didn't want to. I wanted to give the business to the club so the club would get that tiny bit more money. And yeah, unfortunately it hasn't worked out for me just yet. But hopefully, Connor, tomorrow night on the stream I'm sitting here in that grey shirt.
Hopefully, yeah. Can you get the patches put on in Anfield, yeah?
I don't know, is the honest truth. If you buy them there, like, do you mean go in and buy the shirt there or just the patches?
If I went in with a shirt, like, would they put patches on it?
I can't see why not. They could probably do it in the Dublin store for you as well if you're up there.
Yeah. I probably won't get patches. I just want to get the name on it at some point.
Oh, they'll definitely put the name on. What name are you going to go with?
I don't know. I'm thinking of Keha. Like, I'll probably leave it until the time I go over in October, so I'll give it a month or two, see who's been playing well, then probably make a decision then.
Love it. Gone full on team who's in vogue at the time.
Adam Bogdan makes a shock appearance and has 15 clean sheets in a row. Get him on the back of it.
It is going to be interesting to see. I love when the club release the figures of who has sold the most shirts or what name has done the best. Was it Firmino or Salah last year? I think it was Bobby.
It's hard to know. I'd say could have even been Coutinho just in the first half of the season. It's hard to know. I'd say I'm sure Salah probably has to be though.
Sorry, I'm just laughing here. Someone says another good thing on here is that nobody can Google my face, says Rod.
Leave it to me. I'm a good internet detective. I'll find you.
Yeah, Connor is, to be fair. Connor's pretty damn classy. He's got great instincts as well. A couple of times he said to me, I think this account is nonsense or this account is bullshit, and it's proven to be so.
Yeah, well, someone messaged me before and I just instantly said that's a fake account, and it's come out recently that it was. I just knew straight away. Like, I don't know how, I just knew.
So kind of where are we at with the likes for the stream?
Let's check now.
Have we broken 2? And I mean 100, I don't mean 2 fucking likes.
I'd say more than 2 on it. 187 and 5 downvotes.
5 downvotes. Jesus. 187. What do you reckon, guys? We're going to finish up here in a few minutes. Do you reckon we can hit the 2 before we go offline?
If we don't, then I'm very disappointed.
And what's our subs at?
1553.
That's pretty good, to be fair. I mean, last night we were
1560. Get 7 more tonight, you'll be happy.
Yeah, so look, if you're watching this, help us out here. Give us the thumbs up. Help us hit that 200 mark, because I do love a round number, to be fair. But and as well, if you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed, do it. Why not? Better time, no better time to do it than now. Yeah, I don't know, Connor. It's mad, isn't it? Last night we were saying will we hit 1500 subs, and today is the day has gone long. It's kept ticking over and over. So we're not big headed and we don't kind of think anything of ourselves. But you know what, buddy? We mustn't be too bad.
No, we can't be too bad, like, yeah. Fair enough. And, so obviously Lambeg Loyalist said, when was this channel started? How long ago was it? 3 or 4 months now, is it? Not even.
Well, look, we started the whole TOTT thing in October. Or late September, October last year, I think. I think, we're probably only putting in honest work on this channel for 3 months, would that be right?
Yeah, we threw up the podcast and all before that, but we didn't actually put videos up really. We didn't take it seriously after recently. Yeah,
we only made a concerted effort to come on here and start like moving. And to be honest, most of our stuff now has moved over to YouTube. I'd consider us more a YouTube channel at this point than a podcast.
Yeah, we're even getting more views on here than listens and all. And, like, it's great. You're used to podcasts and all, but I think YouTube's going to be way better because it's much more interactive and actually get feedback. Like on the podcast side of things, like there's basically no feedback really, is there?
And no, the only way I could get feedback on the podcast was I had a group of people who were kind enough to kind of let me know how we were getting on every week or two. I'd kind of message them and they'd give me honest feedback on what they thought. And they were fair to me. If something was wrong, they'd let me know. But yeah, it is brilliant on here. You can see straight away if people like you or don't like you by the amount of people on the stream, the amount of thumbs up you get, the amount of subscribers that you have. And look, I have no idea if the number of subscribers we have is decent for 3 months or not. I haven't got a clue. I honestly haven't got a clue. And part of me doesn't care either, because if there was 50 people on here, Connor, watching us every night, I'd still be amazed.
It's crazy when you think about it, though. There's like 200 people just sitting there watching us.
Like somebody said earlier on, Daz was live streaming around the same time at one point. And we had pretty much the same amount of people on the stream. I think Daz was on 236 and we were on 217. Something like that. But we had like 100 and something thumbs up and he had 40 something. So yeah, just even things like that. We punch above our weight, I think, in regards to the subscribers that we have.
I suppose a bit we do, yeah. But
I mean, for the people we get watching.
That's between us and Daz. We had about 500 people there between us, like, which is nuts.
It is nuts, and
it's just our little small corner of YouTube, like.
Yeah, it's crazy, and we do love Daz. I mean, if we're not on here and Daz is on, we're watching Daz ourselves. We love Daz's content, but it is nuts. Brilliant. I mean, just to think, like, we're just normal people who just come on here to have a chat about football. I absolutely love it. I love that people are so nice. There's no real trolls on here. You get the odd Egypt popping in saying something like egg or, you know, something fucking stupid like that. But 99.9% of the people that have interacted with the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel have been absolute quality.
Yeah, everyone's just more chilled out on here. Everyone takes things way too seriously on Twitter.
Lambeg Loyalist says, what's your numbers like on the podcast? But that is you're never getting that number out of me. Never. It's
somewhere between 6 and 14 million.
Yeah.
Somewhere between that.
That's the thing is, Lambeg Loyalist, buddy, that's a number that if you run a podcast, that's the important number. That's the important thing. That's the only bit of information that you can keep to yourself. And you're never going to get that answer out of anybody, I'm afraid. But what I will say is, all in all, Connor, since we've started now, I think we're heading towards somewhere like 500,000 listens/views of our content.
Yeah, we've had 128,000 views so far on YouTube. which is
And
crazy.
I think as well in the last 28 days we've had like 860,000 minutes or something of our content watched.
That's insane. It's like 20 people watching it non-stop for a month or something stupid like that.
Yeah, it's absolutely mental. Absolutely mental.
Ridiculous.
Trueborn says
It's
above
scary, like, and we're
1500.
just like this small town.
Sorry, go on. What were you
It's
saying?
scary, like we're just like a. You hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, like it's scary, really, when you think about like how many people are watching. I'm like, this is just a small channel. Imagine what's like on massive channels. Wonder how much view time they must get.
See, this is what worries me. If we do grow and we do get a little bit bigger, I don't want to miss out on people's comments in the chat. And look, I know on here every night I don't get through everyone's comments, but I try and get through as many as I can, and that's what worries me when we do get that bit bigger and the comments are coming in thick and faster, and that's kind of the idea behind me lashing out the Spanish to everybody.
Yeah, it's a fair point, actually. But yeah, as it goes on, it's going to be a bit trickier, but we'll do our best to get to everyone.
We will. We always do our best to try and get through through the comments, because it means a lot to us that you take the time to put them in there. A few more things. Trueborn says above 1500 for 3 months is good, lads. You have to get a really lucky break to be getting much more than that. And do you know what, buddy? I think once we start the live streams or the watch along, we'll jump up a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd expect so. Yeah, that's the plan anyway.
I think you guys are going to enjoy them anyway. You're either going to enjoy them or your opinion of me is going to drastically change.
Yeah, you're a bit mad during games, aren't you? Especially when you have money on it.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to try and not have money on the games this season while I'm watching I'm doing watch-alongs.
Huh? You're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to.
I know, I think I'm going to have to, because I can't be doing watch-alongs and screaming about corners and stuff.
That's what make it funny though.
Sean Ryan says, have Liverpool fully signed Alisson? No, buddy, it's not. How do we say this, Connor? The fee has been agreed.
Signed, but everything's agreed except just has to do with medical, pretty much.
Exactly. The fee has been agreed with Roma. I think it's somewhere along the lines of £67 million, including bonuses. The player is in the UK at the minute. Terms have been agreed with the player and his agent. It's just pending a medical at this point. So all in all, Sean, mate, it's pretty much done. There's going to be no surprises in this medical, Connor.
Hope not, anyway. Hoping his knees are good.
The Raptor says, considering you ain't pushing it down people's throats, the channel is doing good business. It's all by hearsay, good going. It is, yeah, that is mad. It is kind of word of mouth and stuff, isn't it?
Sorry, what was that? Just reading the chat there.
The Raptor saying, considering we're not pushing things down people's throat, the growth of the channel's been pretty good. It's just all been word of mouth and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on, I'd say. Like, we haven't done massive advertising of ourselves on social media even. Like, it's just people just find us somehow.
Yeah, I often do wonder. I've asked people so many times when I've got to meet them and stuff, and it was Chris, I think I asked it so recently as well, like, where did they first hear the podcast? How did they come across the podcast? Or was the video suggested to them on YouTube and stuff like that? Because I'm not sure how all the tech stuff is done on YouTube and stuff. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do. I'm not sure how to get suggested or whatever. It's all mad to me. I just like coming on here and talking to people.
Yeah, that's more my end, isn't it?
It is, yeah, exactly.
You're the poster boy. I'm the man behind the scenes more than anything. You just
point me towards the camera and turn it on, and that's it. Susan Cox says, "Love your videos. Keep up the good work." Thank you, Susan. It's great to have you watching. It really does mean a lot to us. Thank you very much. 5 minutes and I'm heading off, guys, because I'm absolutely knackered. Right, a couple more quick comments, Connor, before we head off. Anything in the chat that's caught your eye, buddy?
Joseph Reardon, Connor on the late shift tonight. Do you buy it? He said.
Yeah, it is good. You've been on the whole stream, Connor. I mean, you've kept up, Dave.
I didn't have to go off all, yeah.
Dave you didn't have to pop out for one, and now Tommy Tank. I see. I didn't let you get through the stream without mentioning it.
Thought I was gonna get there without someone mentioning it.
Did you have to stop your? Are you still there, Connor?
Yeah. What happened there?
I don't know what's going on. Something popped up here that says page unresponsive.
Says we're back now.
Yeah, well, for me it was live all the time. That's nuts. Red Mix, or Wrigley Mix, excuse me, says he came across you guys on Twitter last night. Glad I did. Fellow Irish Reds, you'll never walk alone.
Always good to have Irish lads.
Are we still on, actually? Because people are saying wait in the chat, or they're back.
Yeah,
there we go.
People saying we're back, yeah.
Guys, don't know what
This might
happened
go
there.
with the second video, though.
We
This
got
may
a
go out with a separate video. Not sure. Be alright, you know.
yeah, I just got a pop up from YouTube saying something was wrong. I've no idea what happened. Yeah, there it is again. It's saying you can wait for the page to become responsive or not. I've no idea what's going on here. But you know what? It seems as good a time as any, Connor, to say goodnight.
Yeah. I have to do my forfeit still, don't I? Will I do it now?
Yeah, go on, why not? So we need proof, by the way, that Connor's done this. So Connor, as you know, we said the other night, if we got 150 likes, Connor would do the speech from Taken. So go on, Connor. If you've got it there in front of you, why not?
Yeah, have a look here. We have to decide something for you to do next, since we had 200 tonight. So
We
I'll
still
leave
have to
some
get
comments on
Chris's fucking forfeit, by the way, for the sweepstakes.
that. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Leave some suggestions for us as well. Right. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. What I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you. There we go. So
There you
stop
go.
asking.
Lambeg Loyalist says, what are the timings of your posting content? Pretty much on here every night, buddy, from about 9:30 till after 12. Podcasts go up on Sundays and then Wednesdays or Thursdays. During the season they'll become more frequent. It's just at the minute where, you know, there's not so much to talk about. There's no games to talk back on or anything like that. So yeah, I hope that helps. But look, we're gonna say goodnight, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in again. 205 likes, Connor, I think, before we head off.
208 on my end.
208. Did we hit 1,560?
I'll check now. No.
No.
4 off.
We
It's
will
not too
get
bad.
there, though. We will get there. Look, thank you guys so much for everything tonight. To everyone that has helped fund the channel or that sent a few quid on PayPal or Patreon, thank you guys so much. For everyone who's given us a thumbs up or commented or even just watched, thank you again. We'll end as we always do by saying up the motherfucking Reds.